icy to drink.
Oh, you mean like it's ice? Okay.
I'm iced over.
You try a microwave or something. You turn that into a hot cider.
What up,
Hot toddy.
internet?
Hey guys. So I was on earlier today because I saw that thing come out, and I was like, we're not starting this until 9:30 tonight. And I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm gonna be awake long enough to read that whole thing and talk about other stuff. So
Right.
I went over that earlier. I'm assuming you guys have read it.
I have skimmed over it.
Skimmed over it. I mean, that's all that's really worth, to be honest. Bruce?
Yeah.
Okay. What stood out to you really? Like, what was it that was like the most interesting part of that to you?
He copies and pastes his summary from one motion to the next.
That's for sure true.
Like, word for word, like 5 paragraphs he just copied from one and pasted in the other. He's like, I'm not typing this shit.
Yeah, well, it gives me a chance to read everything I skipped the first time, I guess. I just thought the jury trial part was really weird. Would you even want a jury trial? Like, be honest.
Not a
like,
chance.
How is that gonna go? And like, what would be the point of that? At that point in time, it would just literally just be for attention, because like, there's no way she's going to win that. So
It's literally to try and get either Woodnick or Clayton to stop, because they're trying to extend the case without having to put up bond for an appeal.
yeah, well, I mean, it's worked for her so far. She drags things out, but
The interesting thing in all of these motions, his main argument seems to be these very specific points of law, whether they're right or wrong. And I can understand when you're talking to a judge, maybe that's convincing because they will go look up the law.
Yeah.
But with a jury, the jury doesn't care about some fine point detail of Rule 26.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Rule 26. Which one is that? I don't know if I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Let's bring up the 16 times that he mentions it ad nauseum again and again. By the way, did you know that he didn't properly notice on Rule 26? Like, God, dude, we get it.
I don't think I still like don't understand like why he keeps saying that, because that was obviously like, I keep wanting to say debunked, but like I was ruled against how many times? Like, because he harped on that point in like multiple filings.
Yes.
So are we just hoping that the next judge will see it and think something else? I guess. But I noticed there was nothing about the father in this one when he was like going back over Judge Mata's misconduct and stuff like that. It was just the
yeah.
So I think maybe he put his feet in his mouth on that one a lot.
I think a certain moose-shaped human got the news story put out.
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty awkward, right? Like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have written that. But
Yeah, I don't know what was new in this new document. The thing was, it primarily the thing about his hand signals? Was that the new thing? Or
no, that's on Twitter.
Jury?
That's on Twitter.
Give me 1 second. Let's do.
Oh, that's not even in the filing itself?
No, it's on his Twitter page. Hang on. All right, so I don't know if it'll show. I blocked him, so I don't know if I can see his replies. Hang on.
Why is he putting this on Twitter?
Because he wants to.
Because it's more so about his character online than anything in the court specifically.
I guess.
All right. Nope, that's not what I want. I have to click this button every time I click out. Hang on. Okay, balls isn't enough. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay, there's been a lot of tweeting today. I'm just trying to find this one tweet. That's it. Like,
He's
this
been
one
backed
string of
up,
tweets.
so he's letting it all out right now.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, this is the thread, yeah. Oh my god, it's because I blocked him. Hold on.
Which thread are you looking for?
The one where he's talking about the coaching. Do you have it pulled up, or his Twitter pulled up?
I have it pulled up, yes.
All right, hang on. Let me share your screen then. I'm not gonna unblock that man just so I can see a tweet. Like, I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is all dark.
Yeah, you can dark mode it.
Hmm.
One final thing. I have poor hearing as a result of an injury when I was young. A fire went off in my ear. I'm not deaf, but I struggle to hear sometimes. When Mata accused me of trying to coach Laura at trial, what actually happened was I couldn't hear Laura due to my hearing loss, and because Deandra talked over Laura repeatedly, which the trial transcript clearly shows, rather than trying to coach Laura as if I could even do that, I was simply trying to tell her to slow down so I could hear her. I intended to object on this, but I never had a chance to. This happened too fast, and then Laura lost her composure. If Mata believed I was doing something wrong, the correct thing would have been to stop and ask me if there was an issue. I then would have explained the problem. This happens often. Instead, without giving me the courtesy, Judge Mata accused me falsely of misconduct. To me, it felt and feels like she was mocking my disability. If you think that made me angry, you're right, it did. Judges should treat all people with more respect and courtesy than this.
Well, that definitely showed in the motion to remove Judge. I guess it's that anger was attached to that, maybe? I don't know. We're assuming that he does actually have a, like, that was really the problem, which is, like, it sucks because I don't want to be like, yeah, right, you know what I mean? When somebody says I have hearing loss, but at the same time, it's like, how do I believe anything you're saying right now when you're, like, aligned with this person who lies about everything, and you know it, and you say it doesn't matter? So,
if he knows that it's a frequent problem for him, for a lawyer who's been doing civil litigation for 20 years,
right,
then he
but
would ask...
how many babies has he delivered?
3, I believe.
Wait, what?
But...
cite your source, please.
It's a joke.
I hope so.
No, watching the Durrell Books trial, he had a hearing problem. So the court provided him like an easy listening device so that it would amplify the audio in the courtroom so that he could hear things.
Yeah.
And it's not uncommon for courts to do that. Because they're big areas in some jurisdictions. So if you can't hear the guy that's 30 feet across from you speaking into a microphone, then they make the accommodation so that it can pipe the audio feed into your ear so that you can hear something.
Right.
And if for whatever reason he's now claiming 30 days after the fact when he could have objected and said, I can't hear my client because this rude lawyer lady is badgering my client, then maybe we'd be able to take it at more face value. But he's being pretentious and mocking people with disabilities trying to claim something after the fact.
That bitch lawyer, that beautiful, magnificent
bringing it up now,
lawyer that I don't have a crush on at all.
Yeah, it just smells like making an excuse after the fact when you've been caught and you're just trying to make up some excuse that sounds good. That's what it feels like. Maybe it's true that there was a firework in his ear. I don't know. But it doesn't feel like that.
I don't know. Did he set the firework off? That's what I want to know. Because when I was really little, I thought it would be fun to take one of those like pop guns and like fire it right next to my ear. Why? I don't know. But I did.
Yeah, and I think Deandra had to interrupt Laura because she asked yes or no questions, and Laura would not say yes or no.
Yeah.
So you have to stop the witness.
1 second, guys. Okay. He says he will join, so.
Oh, cool.
Cool. All right. So this is like another thing that is kind of in line with a lot of things that I've said about like people bringing up sensitive issues, because like people won't call them out for that, or people like are too afraid to be like you're a liar or whatever. Like I don't want to say the guy's a liar or anything like that, but like if it was really that big of a deal, like I don't know, like you guys just said, he would have said something ahead of time. Like even when you're like a kid with a learning disability, you have to like ask for accommodations ahead of time. You can't just show up on the day of the test and then afterwards be like, I did bad because I have ADD. You know what I mean? That's not how that works.
Yeah.
They don't let you do that retroactively.
That's why it sounds not legit to me.
Yeah. I won't totally say that. I won't say that he doesn't have hearing problems. I'll just say that if they were really that severe, why didn't he do something ahead of time? So
Exactly.
yeah. I want to see teledoc verification on that.
Teledoc.
Send him to mom doc for a hearing exam.
Oh, no.
Oh God.
He's
Okay.
got a big Fiverr logo on his ear.
Oh my God. There was something else that he had put, and it's about the bar complaints. Like something about bar complaints that, like, if you plan on filing a bar complaint, or if you have filed a bar complaint, did you see that one?
That was very new.
Right.
That was in 31 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. Can you pull that up? I'm not going to read through the whole thing that he linked, but hold on a sec. I keep seeing stuff about Alec Baldwin all over my feed, and I need to watch that when we're done here. Okay. To all those threatening bar complaints against me for my comments this week, please read this case. It is controlling law in the Ninth Circuit. Lawyer speech inside a courtroom is subject to more restriction, but the First Amendment is still a thing. Okay.
Who threatened a bar complaint against him this week?
I think people were just tweeting about how more complaints had been filed or something. I don't think they're new complaints. I think they just, more people had complained. But I can't confirm that. So
yeah.
Statements impugning the integrity of a judge may not be punished unless they are capable of being proved true or false. Statements of opinion are protected by the First Amendment unless they imply a false assertion of fact. Okay. I mean, I guess that covers them. The "Hey Daddy" thing was a little weird, though.
Yeah.
Hey Daddy, look at me. I'm a real judge now.
I would say at best that just falls under mockery, but doing it in a legal filing, it's not a First Amendment thing in a legal filing.
Yeah.
If he did that on Twitter, that would be a different story.
Yeah. Well, I can't read that without hearing it in like a Peter Griffin or like some weird kind of voice, and it just cracks me up every time.
Yeah. I mean, the point is he has First Amendment rights, but just because you can be a complete asshole doesn't mean you should be one.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental problem.
That's true. Hang on. Statements of rhetorical hyperbole aren't sanctionable, nor are statements that use language in a loose figurative sense. Okay.
So, like, the best analogy is, I know an internet lawyer out of Minnesota named Nick Ricada, and he proudly receives bar complaints against him because he is a active, slightly practicing lawyer, but he doesn't take cases. He does give consultations and whatnot for things that he feels like he can assist with.
Right.
But he doesn't take cases. But he's like the truest definition of an internet shitposter on his YouTube channel, and he just talks about, basically whatever he wants. Well, then people file bar complaints against him, and they're like, he's demeaning the reputation of lawyers. And it's like, no, he's an internet personality who happens to be a barred attorney. There's a difference. Yeah, he's not doing anything in the practice of law. He's using his credentials to grow a platform for him on the internet. But Jingras is a barred attorney talking about the case that he is active on and speaking about his client and about the judge overseeing the case that he's in, which is a whole different realm of possible consequences.
Yeah. So I heard, and like, I haven't really followed the Nick Ricada stuff because I didn't know who he was before, the arrest and all that. I heard he had said something about the judge that he was supposed to have assigned to his case. Is that true? So
he's in an active defamation case.
Defamation case. Okay.
Between a guy from Colorado known as Montegraph, and the Nick called him a PDF file because of things said about Montegraph in the community and Montegraph sued a different person for calling him a PDF file, and Montegraph lost that lawsuit. And that was one of the start of Nick's rise, was going over that case for that first defamation suit.
Right.
And then Montegraph was trying to sue him, and that case has been going on for almost 2 years now. But Nick was paid a very well-known guy that Jingras actually looks up to in Mark Randazza. And they've been fighting this because Montegraph filed in Minnesota on belief that he was trying to forum shop to get around Colorado's anti-SLAPP law.
Okay.
And that anti-SLAPP law would have basically summarily dismissed the claim because he's trying to use the lawsuit to impugn Nick's ability to speak.
Right. Gotcha.
But Nick has been losing most of the battles in trying to get this thing thrown out, because all he's doing is trying to get money siphoned out of him, very much in a similar way that Laura is trying to siphon money out of Clayton.
Yeah, right. Okay, I think Omar's with us, but he's still connecting.
So, the particular night that led to the big Nick Arcadis stuff was the day after, or the day of, when the appeals court issued their ruling that the ruling will stand in the case where he tried to appeal his local court's ruling of not using Colorado's anti-SLAPP law because of a what's known as the conflict of laws. Hey, Omar.
Hey.
Hey, folks. I can't see you, but I think y'all can
okay.
see me.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can see you. Hey, Omar, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you heard this about her saying that her right to she was basically robbed of her right to a jury trial?
She has no right to a jury trial in family law.
That's what they put in the.
Are we talking about Laura Owens?
Yes.
Yep.
She claims she has a right to a jury trial?
There's a section in here about right to a jury trial.
So Jingras is claiming a recent appeals court decision saying that any case that has a legal outcome, like, it's really weird. I gotta find it.
Is this exclusive to Arizona? Because that's really not a thing.
United States Supreme Court issued a decision
So-
explaining.
I'll read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just days ago, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a decision explaining that litigants cannot be denied their constitutional right to a jury trial simply because the rules of a forum do not permit a jury trial. In that case, SEC versus Jacuzzi, 2024 U.S. Lexus, literally decided on June 27th, 2024, the Supreme Court explained the right to a jury trial does not depend on the type of forum or the specific label of the claim or claims at issue. What matters is whether the remedy sought is legal in nature. If so, the constitutional right to a jury trial attaches no matter what forum the case may be in or how the claims are framed.
Notice that that's an unpublished case, for one. And for two, was there any portion of her family law trial or litigation where she specifically requested a jury trial?
No, but
No.
she did deny a request for jury trial in the Greg Gillespie case. There's a notice of waiver of a jury trial because that was the civil case, I believe.
But wasn't the Gillespie case already settled anyway in her favor?
They dismissed the claims and said each party must pay their own way. So I would not.
So what is her beef? Is she talking about an appeal in the Ecker case? One appealable issue is that she wasn't afforded a jury trial, or she was denied the ability to request it. I'm misunderstanding. Well, here's my deal.
Violated her right. I don't know what that means.
Let's just say that it was a right. Let's say that it was a right. Let's just assume that that's true, which on the basis of that unpublished case, it is not. But let's just assume it's true. If they never requested it, then they've waived that right.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't explicitly request it in some kind of a motion, whether it be oral or written, then she waived that right anyway. And so grasping at straws, it's a lot like his other motion, one that I read like a week ago, whenever it was, where he was claiming that certain cases dictated that he was going to be guaranteed a new trial on the basis of stuff. And then he cited a bunch of unpublished cases that were not even in the correct state.
Yeah.
He was literally citing Minnesota law.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, he's quoting McDonald versus City of Chicago 2010, a Fisher versus Edgerton Appellate Division 2014. Well, that's at least Arizona appellate.
Well, full marks there, I guess. That's a start. Yeah. I don't disagree that you have the ability to request a jury trial. I don't disagree with that at all. Whether or not you have a right to it depends on whether or not she actually requested it or not. And unless she actually requested it in Eckert's case, then she can't claim that she maintains the right absent her objection. Sort of like what I just did today on the Karen Reed thing. The defense specifically said they were not giving the opportunity to specifically object to the mistrial. And one of their appellate issues is that the judge never gave them the opportunity. Family law is not, it's not that way. If you want something, you have to specifically request it. You're going to get a bench trial. Any kind of trial in family court, especially regarding sanctions, that is largely basically within the discretion of the judge. It makes no sense to tell the judge that they have full authority to issue sanctions based on their discretions, but we're just going to offset that to some jury of 6 or 12 or whatever. It doesn't make legal logical sense. It's just noise. This is just background stuff. I thought we were going to talk about something cool. I was like, hell yeah. I'm driving. I'm on my way. My wife is literally holding the phone for me right now.
Oh, really?
Like we're on our way to Pismo Beach. And I didn't know if this was going to work or not, but I'm happy that it is.
Yeah. Okay. What are you guys doing at the beach?
We're going on an old folks vacation.
What is an old?
We're literally gonna. We're not gonna do anything fun. We're gonna go like fancy restaurants and wine tastings and.
That sounds like fun.
They're gonna.
Well,
they've got an Airbnb. They have an Airbnb with a beachside view and a porch, and they're gonna sit in the chairs and look at the beach. And
That's exactly right. That's exactly what's gonna happen. With some cigars and maybe a little bit of whiskey.
That sounds good. Well, not the cigars.
I might have pre-gamed it a little bit too hard this morning, but you know.
I thought you were gonna say before you got in the car. I was like, dude.
Oh no! I've long since sobered out. I'm just saying. I almost got in a lot of trouble because I tried to talk about this photograph that was sent to my Discord. It's like, hey, look at that! It looks like Alan Jackson grabbing Karen Reed's boob, and then everyone's like, no, that's AI. It's like, well, Jesus, how was I supposed to know that? What'd you guys send it to me for?
I think I saw what you're talking about, but I didn't really understand it.
I mean, I was bringing it up because it was on my Discord, and then people got mad at me. And so instructions to Dominic is, hey, cut that out of the final edit, huh? Say, okay, definitely do that.
That's awesome. Did you follow the Alec Baldwin trial?
I have not so far, although I heard it's lots of hijinks and shenanigans.
Then they dismiss it?
It's dismissed with prejudice due to Brady violations.
What? Yes. Today?
They literally stopped it at like 10 or 11 in the morning and went straight into an evidentiary hearing, and the prosecutor got on the stand to explain why she decided that this particular bit of evidence was not relevant to the case.
I was going to say, what was the Brady violation, or what was not disclosed?
Some witness had some live ammunition in Arizona, and according to the prosecutor, she said it never left Arizona, so why would it be relevant to a case in New Mexico? and I don't know what the other linkage is from there, but it's dealing with live rounds. So if those live rounds could have made their way into New Mexico, it's a whole thing about like they didn't track this particular set of ammunition, and it was.
Well, the prosecution doesn't get to decide what's relevant and what's not. That's why you just disclose everything.
Yeah.
But I could see where that would piss off a judge and why that's a mistrial. God damn it! Now I'm going to have to cover the Baldwin case. I really didn't want to. Hey, babe, can you give me some water? Holding my phone again.
Thankfully, it was short because it started on Tuesday and it ended on a Friday. So
that just started on Tuesday.
Oh no, I thought they were in for the long haul, man. Already on a Brady violation. How did that come up today in trial?
I wasn't watching that.
I've just been reading stuff, so I have no idea. Like, I didn't see that come up either. But
I think I'm going to have to cover that one maybe on Monday or so.
Okay, then I don't have to pay attention because you're going to tell me about it. So.
Well, hell, you could jump on with me and we could all figure it out together.
Okay, you guys need to play Quiplash with us. You guys both need to play. Not today. Not right now.
I'm in.
You're driving. You're driving right now, so not right now.
I was going to say, do I need my eyes? Because
yes,
that might be discouraged.
You could have you and your wife playing as a team.
Yeah, that's true.
We play those kinds of games like with the family. They're all into that kind of stuff. They're all really good at it, and I'm just like drinking in the corner.
I mean,
not
I'm
really
trying. The center, so it's fine.
Is it another one of them 7-Eleven margaritas?
No, I have some vodka and cranberry juice tonight. I ran out of margaritas because I didn't want to go to the gas station and buy more. Yeah.
I guess that's an upgrade. But you got some Tito's over there, some Kettle One.
No, it's Smirnoff. I grabbed whatever I saw first. Yeah, nothing special. I'm not like I'll drink bad like shitty stuff if it's cheaper. That's fine.
I've never understood vodka connoisseurs. Because literally, I mean, I could see why you got a whiskey connoisseur. I get wine tasters, bourbon specialists, but vodka is all the same shit, man, unless they put like other stuff in it. Oh, my wife says it's the hangover.
I guess you pay more for the filtering, and then you have no hangover.
There's a difference in the hangovers?
Yeah, if
Nobody told me this
better,
ever.
There's less impurities.
My wife is in the background. She's being all shy.
Why?
She should speak from her guts so that everybody can hear. Yeah, she's talking about the different hangovers. Also, unique to my wife is different alcohols affect her temperaments in varying degrees. Like the wrong kind of tequila will set her off on some kind of a violent streak.
How violent?
She will carry me my ass. Oh, I could see her definitely running me over with the car.
No. Both of you need to stay away from the keys when you've been pre-gaming and drinking.
That's why she's passing the princess.
That's right.
She is until she tries to. She literally was supposed to be directing me. She's supposed to be the navigator, right? We're looking for a gas station. She's literally directing me onto this unfinished bridge with no walls on either side. I'm like, what am I driving over? I'm not doing this. You're not directing me anymore. She's like, I don't know if you're trying to be a dick, but you really hurt my feelings, is pretty much what she said.
Oh. Hey, what's your wife's name? Because people are saying, hi, Mrs. Omar, and I don't know her name. I know it's
She's
not
the
Mrs.
tilted
Omar.
uterus.
The tilted uterus. Okay.
No, it's her name is Mari. Mari. Short for Maricela.
Cool. All right.
I say it like a total gringo. I can't help it.
Guys, her name is not Mrs. Omar.
we need to ask Omar about the hearing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The hearing issue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So David Gingras says that he wasn't making hand motions to coach his witness. He was doing that because he's hard of hearing.
Give me a break. Yeah, tell that to the appellate court. Why is that even germane to the discussion? Like, how did that come up? I got to know.
Well, he only posted it on Twitter, I guess. But apparently he was, he's trying to defend his honor about why he was making these crazy hand signals.
He said the judge was mocking him when she accused him of misconduct or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see anything mocking from Judge Mata, so she just said to knock it off. which I thought was fair game.
In her ruling, there was like a factual basis for that, where she said something about like it became apparent that the attorney said something about that, but it wasn't like mocking him like the way he mocked her in his filing. So
I mean, if we're gonna be legal dorks about it, we could just say that at no point in time did Judge Mata ever make a ruling that he was using hand signals. Defense counsel pointed it out, and she made comment about it. If you are making hand signals, knock it off. Didn't it go? Isn't that pretty much how it went?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't like an ever official warning.
No, there wasn't an official warning.
Like I'm going to take 2 points off.
I don't think
also,
the judge even mentioned it in the hearing.
No,
she only mentioned it in her ruling.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like I thought that I saw her say something in passing at the when they're about to go to intermission, when Owens was throwing her temper tantrum. Maybe I'm wrong. I've misremembered this whole case for like the last 2 weeks now.
Now, Deandra kind of said, like, I can see that you're just looking at your attorney, and she said that a couple times before she made in front of him. But that's
she
the
did
most
say
I
that.
remember. Yeah, that's the most I remember from any direct conversation about it. So,
you know, Jingras has been on video a lot. He's talked to the public a lot, and I don't recall him communicating through hand signals ever. Even when he's making his arguments to the judge, he wasn't making these weird ass hand signals that he was making. And even if he was, if he's arguing that was because he was hard of hearing, like, was he trying to translate to lower? I don't understand that argument. Like, what does he mean? So how does him being hard of hearing have anything to do with his hand signals?
So his story is that he had a firework go off near his ear, so he has permanent hearing injury, and then because Deandra was constantly talking over his client, he was trying to get Laura to speak slower so that he could hear what she was saying. But instead of being a good lawyer and objecting, saying you're badgering my client and I can't understand what she's saying, he's doing these hand signals and whatnot because he can try and attempt to control how his client is testifying by raising objections.
That's nonsense. If I want my client to speak louder, I'll just tell him to speak louder. I won't hand signal it. Like, Your Honor, excuse me. Hey, do you mind speaking up so I can, I'm hard of hearing over here. And, there's no shame in that. You don't hand signal that. It's not baseball.
Right.
And I was saying earlier that we saw in the Darrell Brooks trial that they were giving out these hearing aids that would pipe in the audio feed so that you could hear what they were saying through the court audio. And it's like, he didn't request one of those. If he knows that he has this somehow audio deficiency, then you would think that he would request something in order to make sure that it wasn't an issue.
I got to tell you, man, Jingras is, I gave him a lot more credit than he deserved when I did my initial read of his motion. The more that I've thought about it, I mean, I can't get over the fact that he's misquoting law, that he's literally inserting cases from other states that are not germane to the Arizona court system. That's something that you don't even do as a paralegal. That tells me that he's literally just probably AIing it and dropping it in, not checking the cases to see if it actually says what they say that it's saying. He's been practicing for how long? It also tells me that he knows he's not going to win that motion.
Yeah.
And then the other stuff that I said with Megan Fox, I mean, the issue is so tangential that he's harping on the fact that the judge misquoted testimony or whatever. It's so stupid.
Well, apparently he and Laura are going to do a podcast in the near future.
I wonder how many people would be there. Man, I would probably pay a small amount of money to listen to that podcast just for the shit show of it. I wonder if they're going to do like a Q&A. Is it like a YouTube live that they're going to do, or just like a straight up edited podcast?
It's just going to be them recording in some undisclosed location and then posting it on Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's, I mean, lots of people have done that. That's not going to be anything. I'd imagine it's going to piss off a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of fake crying. I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a lot of Jingras thinking that he's the funniest guy in the room.
There's no way they're going to open themselves
Is
up
that
to
Bruce?
live cross-examination. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
Bruce.
Bruce.
How you doing, man?
What's up, Bruce?
Hi.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you on that one. There's no chance.
I don't see them opening themselves up to any kind of cross-examination in a podcast format.
Well, because it's just going to turn in that'll get out of hand within the first 30 seconds. Who's moderating that?
Exactly.
Well, she's the host, so
Oh, shit.
I was thinking they were going to do another Nobody Told Me, but with her mom as the host or something like that.
Maybe her mom will be the host.
I wouldn't want to bring her parents into it, man. You know,
they're
I mean, the reality of it is, I have opinions about what Jingras is doing, and I feel like he's milking that family for money.
Yeah.
It was really eye-opening seeing the attorney fees affidavit come out from Woodnick, where he's on a phone call with Jingras, and they're literally discussing the fact that his client has a mental illness.
Yeah.
And he's trying to settle the case. That leads me to believe that Lord, as we've all suspected for a long time, definitely has some kind of a mental illness. And he's taken advantage of it. He's convinced her through his AI fake law, which is literally what his motion contained, was fake law. I mean, I don't know if those cases are fake or not, but they're certainly unpublished and in the wrong jurisdiction. But it's like, oh, look, we're playing the long game. This is 4D chess. We're gonna lose the trial on purpose, and then I'm gonna write this motion, and then this is gonna allow us to appeal on this one thing, and then it's all gonna work out, and everybody will believe that you were pregnant with twins. Maybe he's telling her something like that, which is really sad. So hey, man, you gotta follow. You gotta go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Here's my theory on this, Omar.
Does it sound like a duck?
A duck?
Oh, I think
not a duck.
Oh, is my audio all messed up?
Was it me slurping?
Oh no, my audio was distorted coming through because I'm driving.
Breaking
I was like, am I slurping that loud?
But here's my theory, Omar. I think
now I can't hear anybody. Now everybody sounds like a duck.
Uh-oh.
Quack,
you might
quack.
want to leave and
Quack,
come back.
quack, motherfucker.
Ducks.
I might lose y'all here in a minute.
Yeah, he's about to break. He's about to freeze out. No, you're back. Nope. Yep.
Maybe no.
Maybe. Okay. Hold on. Let me read this. Hear me out. Says I could get on board believing he is legally deaf and blind, based purely on his blog posts and motions. I wish he was mute though. God damn it, dude.
Wow.
I mean, I get it. It's funny, but it's also mean. So. Also, I had a new member, but hang on. Let me find out who it was. Luna's mom 24. Thank you for the membership.
Sounds like Hellraiser.
Sounds like what? No.
Oh, there you go. You guys are back. You sounded like Hellraiser for.
Oh no.
We hope not.
Hellraiser. Who is she?
Y'all never saw that movie?
No.
It's a weird voice.
Yeah.
But I want to hear Brad's theory of the strategy.
So here's my theory, Omar. So I think that they don't want to try and post the bond in order to get to pay the legal fees to actually go to appeal. So he's trying to do everything he can to try and get all of these prior motions vacated so that they can continue incurring legal expenses at Woodnick and Clayton's response, thinking they've got a longer financial runway than Clayton.
Oh, was that directed to me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I missed like the first half of that.
So I'm thinking.
No, I agree with what you said. Yeah.
I'm looking at Hellraiser right now because I needed to know what that was.
Wow.
What is
the
this?
Hellraiser voice?
Why is this person look like he's like covered in permanent acupuncture? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's part of the
It's required.
movie.
The first Hellraiser is it's a required watching if you're a horror fan of any note.
Deviant says Lauren was born after Hellraiser movies. That's probably true. 1987, yeah, 5 years after.
Yeah. Jesus wept is the classic line from that movie.
Yeah.
As he's getting ripped to smithereens. It's it's I don't want to say it's an acquired taste, but if you're a horror movie fan, you got to watch it at some point.
Are you a horror movie fan?
I have been for all my life. but you know, so it's slowly starting to die off. There's not too many solid contributions out there anymore.
Well, I watched the movie
feel like
Prom
it's a
Night
dying
when I
show.
was I watched Prom Night in the 10th grade, and I slept with the lights on for a couple of months. So I'm not a horror
Prom
person.
Night.
Yeah, exactly. How lame does that sound? And it scared the shit out of me. I couldn't sleep.
Have you ever watched The Exorcist, the first one?
I have not. I'm afraid of that, but I might. We'll see.
It's a classic.
Okay, well, if you're gonna watch it, and if Prom Night is scaring you, you might not want to watch that one by yourself.
Well, I also can drink now, so it's different. That was like the difference.
With a gummy, you'll be all right.
A gummy? I ran out of gummies, man. I gotta get some more. But it's the difference is like kind of crazy because when I went to Halloween Horror Nights when I was in high school, I cried and my dad had to come in and get me, and he didn't even have tickets. He had to come and get me. And I ran into a restricted area, right? And then when I went back, like 3 or 4 years later, and they had those like test tube shots all throughout the park, I was just like, oh yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Oh man.
Prom Night, that's not one that I have enjoyed.
Do you actually watch it?
No, I've never watched it. I think I remember seeing the trailer for it. It's like, I'm not watching that shit.
You'll never sleep again. It's terrifying.
That's scary.
Uh-oh.
The last 2 horror movies I saw were the original Paranormal Activity and A Quiet Place.
Wait, did you watch all the Quiet Place movies or just the first one?
Just the first
Yep.
one.
I watched the Origin one that just came out.
Quiet Place is a good one. The second one is all right.
I didn't actually watch the second one. I watched the first one and I just watched the most recent one.
Quiet Place has an origin one?
Yeah, it's out now.
It just came out.
Quiet Place. They have an origin?
It's called
Yeah,
Quiet
brand
Place
new.
Day One or something.
Paranormal Activity is cool, but the first one, like the first initial experience was the best one. And after that,
I think
it
my
loses its
name is in the
effectiveness.
credits for the first one because in the
What?
first one, yeah, because they did this like Kickstarter campaign where you could put or sign your name to get into the credits because there was only like 3 people that made the movie.
That's cool.
So then they were like, well, we need like an actual credit scene. So sign up and put your name and we'll put you in the credits. And it goes
That's cool.
on for like 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw that one actually. I did see that one. I think I was a freshman in college when that came out. So, I did watch the other ones, but I don't remember them. They're not as memorable. I don't know. Like I guess it got too formulaic.
yeah, you got too formulaic and like you got really corny at towards the end. I think the second one was okay, third one, but the first one was really the one to watch. But around that time, the scariest movie of that whole entire era was the one with who's that one lady? The Fourth Kind, the Alien movie, where they were doing it as if it was like a documentary, and then they had like the split screen between like fake real footage and fake footage, and
Kind of what you're talking about, yeah.
you didn't know. I didn't know at the time. I was thinking it was like a documentary about like the real thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it had me freaked out and like searching. Yeah, Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind or something. It had me searching like whether or not it was a real thing. It's like, is there really like owls in Alaska abducting folks? That was the premise of the movie, and
Oh God.
something about the ancient Sumerians had come down to populate us and make us think that they were the gods, and I don't know. But it had me thinking, questioning my existence. I was having an existential crisis on account of that movie for a night or two.
Ever put me in some kind of supernatural scenario or with aliens or zombies or monsters, I want them to kill me first. I don't want to live through that.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I feel like Bruce would make it out of that alive.
I would try.
Yeah, I could see it.
I could see Bruce with 1,000 treadmills outside his windows, just making sure everyone is running.
Yeah. We got to think outside the box.
Well, what if you put the zombie undead people on the treadmills and then they can't get you because they're busy running on the treadmill?
Exactly.
I get it. I thought you were going to put the people on the treadmills. I was like, well,
No.
they're just going to get tired.
No, I'm too lazy for that.
Okay. Yeah, same. Yeah. Yep, that's why I asked them to kill me first, because there's treadmills. Old Grammy D says, okay, admitting Jaws scared the bejesus out of me. Jaws is so like, Jaws is a classic, but Jaws is so like fake, you know what I mean? They had that ride at Universal though, the Jaws ride, and I used to go when I was a kid, and I cried so hard on the Jaws ride. But you know, I like those movies. I still watch them sometimes.
Uh-oh, Omar, someone in chat is saying we've got to...
I feel like you have to watch that one.
Oh, yeah, the real words aren't words thing?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Brad, do you want to talk to me about that while I go downstairs and get something real quick?
Yeah, so in his 32-page motion for new trial, he has like 3 or 4 paragraphs where he says, uncreditable, diminish, and creditability are not words.
He said, "What?" He said, "Wait, what? Wow. Okay, I need the context. What is he saying?"
These were words from the final
judgment
ruling, correct?
Yeah. So
in the final ruling, there's words he picks out, and he says these aren't even real words.
Jingras is such a dork, man. He's like the last person you'd ever want to play Monopoly with. It's like, no, you can only roll the die. It can't flip more than 5 times. It doesn't count. You lost your turn. It's like, shut up, dork.
I said he'd be the worst person to
and he's over here
with.
Okay, I mean, what words were the ones that he said are not real words? Is he even correct?
Uncreditable, diminish, and creditability.
Is uncredible not a word?
No, it is.
These are all words.
Diminish isn't a word?
Supposedly diminish is not a word, according to him, which is hilarious.
They are words, but he's claiming they're not.
Come on. Diminish? He said diminish isn't a word?
Yeah, and creditability is supposedly not a word.
Creditability does not sound like a word, granted, but diminish?
He said dimish. Dimish.
Oh, dimish.
Oh, dimish. I don't know. I've never heard of the word dimish.
I looked them up earlier, and they were all words.
Okay. So once again...
granted, dimish was used like instead of diminish by accident, but they are all words.
Yeah, it's supposed to be diminish, and because it's in the context of a prior history of ovarian cancer to diminish his creditability.
He's just being obnoxious at this point. I don't know, man. He doesn't sound like that fun of a guy. Like some guys like are dicks, but like you know that you have a good time hanging out with them. I don't think I'd want to be friends with Jingras, man. He just sounds obnoxious.
Hey Patrick, what's up?
If he wants to pay for a Mediterranean vacation, I won't say no.
With him?
Yeah, if you got to go with him, like what's the point of that?
Yeah. Are you going to walk through the streets of Tuscany with him in his dad shorts?
You don't have to spend all the time there, do you?
No, you don't.
He'll make
it's an entire ship. You can go and be at completely different spots on a ship.
Yeah, you guys are doing it wrong.
Motion to compel super buddies on his vacation 24/7.
Super buddies.
Yeah.
What are they, super buddy?
You have to be with him 24/7 on this vacation.
I don't want to be with anyone 24/7 on any vacation.
Well,
you can sleep on the pool deck, and you don't even have to go back to your room.
Oh my gosh, I haven't been on a cruise in forever. But no,
I mean,
yeah. There's a good question here about Omar. Did you see the fee schedule from Firm Woodgate?
Yes.
What do you think about it? Do you think it's high, low? It's good.
It sounded pretty reasonable. There's a lot of things that he didn't bill her for. But in terms of like, I was making comment about that. Like, there's a lot of things in there that I don't buy, that I would never bill my clients for, like individual emails, phone calls, things like that, unless I know that they're for the purpose of sanctions because the other side is behaving poorly. And so, all of the things that were billed, he has a billing rate. He said it was $6.25 an hour. Sounds reasonable for a guy with that level of experience. There was multiple attorneys with varying attorney rates. The paralegal rate of $175 an hour is exactly what my paralegal rate would be. And so all of that that's how much time goes into these trials. And this was not a run-of-the-mill family law trial. It was a high-profile trial where he filed a lot of frivolous motions. Every time that I have to respond to a motion or write a motion on my own, it usually on the low end costs my client somewhere between $3,500 to $7,500, because especially if I have to research it and write it, and I'm responding to bullshit that they are writing, and I'm having to research all of those cases, that takes a lot of time. And there was a lot of frivolous motions filed in this case, and then prepping for trial, and you only got a couple of hours to get all your evidence in, all of the discovery work, all of the depositions. I had predicted it was going to be somewhere around 175,000. What did it end up being?
154.
Like the final bill was in like 154. Yeah,
154.
I knew it was going to be north of six figures. I thought it was going to be closer to two. 154 sounds fair.
I thought it was going to be a lot closer to two by the time they were all done.
Yeah, I was more impressed with the level of detail that went into the invoice, where they were literally, on every phone call giving you a summary of what the phone call was about, and included in one of those summaries was where Jingras was trying to settle the case because he thought Laura Owens was mentally ill.
Yeah,
to me that was the
most there were very interesting.
Yeah,
one of the some folks in one of the discords said that in the case leading up to before Jingras came on the scene, it was like $40,000 in total.
Yep.
But then as soon as he came in, it went to $100,000.
Jesus.
And
that's
that was
100% reasonable.
That's after her deposition as well. So
that makes a lot of sense. I've had cases like that. They usually cost, if we're going to go all the way to trial, somewhere between 30 to 50,000. If you're litigating it all the way through, so it makes sense that they were at around 40,000, and then Jingras gets in with all of his nonsense motions. That makes perfect sense to me.
I remember
litigation is expensive.
What's okay? So I know, like in a criminal trial, like you have a right to an attorney or whatever. If you're like sued in like family court, or not family court, like sued, but like, you know what I mean, like the paternity case, or you're sued in civil court, like, are you just fucked if you can't afford anybody? Or
Yep, unless you're defending yourself in a proceeding, which is a quasi-criminal proceeding, in which case you would to an attorney, but that's an extremely limited circumstance. In a family law case, you can't afford an attorney, then you're not getting one.
Yikes, that sucks.
Yeah,
I think
that is a constitutional right that does not extend beyond the criminal arena.
Somebody wants to know if you know, like, what constitutes a legit bar complaint that the bar takes seriously versus something they would like kind of write off.
Sure, misappropriation of funds would be the easiest, most common example. Hey, I paid this lawyer $5,000 and he never called me back. He just ghosted me. I want my money back. And then the attorney's like, hey, what the, WTF? And then you get a bunch of those, and next thing you know, they are trying to take your license. Oh yeah, who was that guy? There was a famous LA attorney that did that. I can't remember his name. But he stole millions of dollars from his clients. Alex Murdaugh did the same thing. After he was convicted of murder, turns out that he was pilfering all of his clients for all of their money and doing various things.
Murdaugh's financial crimes were almost bigger than they were going to put him away for a long time, let alone the murder case.
Yeah, and then he conveniently got Alzheimer's or something around the time they were going to really come after him.
Jason's Tom Girardi? Is that who that is?
Oh, not Murdaugh. Yeah, not Murdaugh. The other guy. The other guy. Girardi's who was in.
Girardi.
Yeah. Girardi's the guy I'm thinking of. But I saw that Dave Neal filed a bar complaint. I know that it got denied. That was never going to get granted. They usually give a lot of leeway towards behavior, but I've been wondering, if I knew, like if I woke up in an alternate universe and I know that I had done the things that Jingras has done representing Owens on such a high publicity case, I would be real nervous about the bar coming down on me. But I'll tell you what, just because Neal had his complaints dismissed doesn't necessarily mean that at some point he's not going to
The robots have taken over.
Competent as an attorney. That's a requirement. Yeah, you have to. You cannot just file motions with fake law in it. Oh, is my voice going in and out?
Yeah, we lost everything after just because Dave Neal's got closed.
Oh, yeah. What I was getting at was you have to be competent as an attorney. And Jingras at this point, I mean, he's filing motions with case law from the wrong states. He's filed numerous frivolous motions, which normally isn't a big deal, but all that starts to pile up. If I were him, I would be real nervous about what the bar might do going on. Especially,
whose responsibility is it to report all of that or to do something about that? Who's the responsible party that brings that up?
It would have to be Laura Owens, honestly. She's the one trusting this guy, and I'll tell you what, he has a duty to represent his client ethically. And it's really starting to look like he's taking advantage of a mentally ill woman. To the extent that that's what the bar thinks he's doing, he's going to have to answer for that at some point. So I would be real nervous if I was Jingras continuing this ruse, whatever he thinks he's doing, on the general public, and doing it so publicly on a Twitter and all of that.
It sounds like he's been making her give him written permission before he puts anything online. So
I literally think that he is writing Laura Owens' blog posts. I think he's been doing it for like a.
Well, the last few were definitely, you could see some of those writing. Oh no, he's doing the robot again.
Yeah, we lost him.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I think there were the pre-Gingras Medium posts, right? And then she lawyered up, and then it went silent for a while, right? And then
yeah, well,
they started back up post Gingras.
She started doing stuff like whenever he was out of town, like with when she sent Meg's Crime Watch the email with the cease and desist or whatever.
That's true.
And then again, when he went on vacation, like was posting again, but then it sounded like different, you know. Omar, we lost you for a good minute there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm back. I think I lost you all too. You guys are doing the robot thing.
Yeah, my friend Patrick's gonna jump in with us too. He's also a lawyer. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna invite him in.
Oh, cool.
Did you hear the doing the robot thing?
Yeah, you guys were all having a robot conversation.
Lisa B, thank you for the 5. She says enjoying the live. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Patrick was with. I mean, I don't know if you were talking back and forth with him at all, but Patrick was also moderating my chat during the live stream in court. So I'm gonna send him a thing real quick. Because I remember I was like, oh no, I don't have any like commentary or anything, and then you guys were nice enough to do that. And I think Tug was in there too. So let's let him in. Hang on. Guys, if you want to look at the comments, let's see. Oh, Patrick, I see. Patrick's gonna be here in 20 minutes. There was a question for you, but I can't remember where it was. Oh, somebody wanted to know if a judge can file a bar complaint.
Of course. 100% they can. As a matter of fact, in some cases, they're required to report bad behavior of attorneys. Like if a judge thinks that a party to a case is being prejudiced by their attorney, there are certain mandated reporting requirements in certain cases. So, for example, if Judge Mata thought that Jingras's conduct was so egregious to rise to the level of what she could only consider ineffective assistance of counsel, then she would more than likely be required ethically to report that to the bar and maybe halt proceedings and get her some other attorney or give her time to find some other attorney. But it's extraordinarily rare to see anything like that happen in real court.
What we got here? Zoot of Anthrax. I feel like he's got a lot of wedgies in school. Well, that sounds painful. Thank you for the 2. Appreciate you. Sorry, you cut out again. What were you saying?
I have no idea what I was saying. I have no idea where it cut off.
That's fine.
I think the short story is yes, the judge can do that.
Cool. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, I'm still trying to navigate Reddit right now. Brad, you went over the response earlier today. Was it today? The Woodnick's response?
Yesterday or 2 days ago, yeah.
Was it yesterday? Okay, because I just saw it today, so I didn't know if it was today or what. But that was, I guess, like 4 pages, and there was a complaint that it was supposed to be only 2.
Yes.
That's a good question.
In the let me go to the motion for new trial because that's where he lays it out. But basically, when he filed the notice for change of judge, it's supposedly by statute says that no reply is to be given unless leave is granted by the judge. And then even if it is, there should only be a 2-page reply, and Woodnick hit 4.
Would is that what?
Yeah, it was Woodnick's response to the notice, and then once Woodnick filed his response, Jingras went on Twitter and said, well, he didn't argue any of the facts that were being presented. And it's like, well, yeah, of course, because Woodnick's not going to know any of the facts about your allegations against the judge and the judge and her father.
Yeah.
The only thing he cites is that it's improperly submitted because of time restrictions. Omar might be gone.
Yeah, I think he is for sure. Otherwise, he's staring at me and it's creeping me out.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely complained about the inflammatory language as well. So that happened. But it's a good question. Like, is it really supposed to just be 2 pages? And if it's 2 pages, like, where do they start counting? Does all the headers and the footers and the signatures, does that all count or not?
You would think it does, but I hate how they have to format these documents because if lawyers can write documents like these, then students should be able to get to write stuff like this because there's so much wasted space in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's college ruled, it's single spaced, and you've got to write 6 pages. And it's like, oh God, I'd rather die. Why are you making me do this?
Mother Pugger, who is her uncle? Somebody was making a joke, Mother Pugger, because Uncle Joe, her uncle, who's an attorney in California, she apparently like faked a message from him one time in court or something. I think it was with Greg.
I don't think he's her uncle. I think it's
no, it's a joke. Like it's a joke. It's not really Uncle Joe, but like she was like acting like it was Uncle Jojo or whatever, or like Dave says it like that, which is really funny. But no, he's not actually her uncle. Oh, Ron was coming back as soon as there he is. There's his face. Hello.
So folks.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, we missed you.
Oh, I don't know what I missed, but I missed some. Check out this view, man. I don't know if y'all can see this.
This page is great.
It's very flat
like
over here. I missed the west.
Yeah, it's real pretty. All these mountains and hills and rolling hills, I guess. The fog. It's like I'm driving into a Elden Ring or something.
I have not played Elden Ring yet. I've been playing Pal World again right now.
I don't even know what that is, but
it's awesome.
It's fancy Pokemon.
Yeah.
Fancy Pokemon?
Fancy and more humanly violent, kind of. If that makes sense at all.
I don't even know what budget Pokemon would be.
Budget Pokemon? That's like Digimon.
On the original Game Boy that didn't have color.
I like
the 80s
those.
version.
I still have those. I kept those.
They're worth money now if they're still working. The only problem is the little battery that's inside of them dies.
Yeah, I don't want to sell them. I don't know. They're just nostalgic for me. I'm just like, I'm going to keep them forever and ever until I need money desperately. More desperately. Oops, I meant to hide that comment. I don't know. We'll ask when he comes back from the Frozen. Does Wojtek have any responsibility to report LO and possible mental illness if he thinks her attorney is not? No, no, I don't think so, right? I wouldn't think so.
I think there's probably I think in that particular line item, there's I'm going to talk to the ethics hotline, and then wait to receive instructions from them as to what needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Huh. Did that lawyer get that? What? Okay. Something about, did that lawyer get to talk to the bar too? Why did the bar say to thank Laura? Because I guess they probably spoke to her too, right?
So in Dave Neal's complaint, the bar spoke to Laura about Jingras, and then in the reply email that was posted yesterday or today, they said they gave a stern warning to Jingras, saying, be on your best behavior, make sure that you're acting in a way that would be most favorable to the profession and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's now taking this new position where he's not going to make any public comments on his Twitter.
Yeah.
That was May 10th. That was.
He's been tweeting a lot today, so.
That lasted about
well, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
He got his hand slapped May 10th, and then he's been arguably worse since then.
He was
trying to give him
about a day and a half.
He escalated to, "Hey, Daddy, look at me! I'm a real judge now."
Oh boy!
I can't.
This is my last beer, Lauren. God dang it!
I can't believe putting that in a filing.
If you want some more alcohol, you should go to the gas station. They have great margaritas.
Wow.
Get a pre-made michelada.
Ew, that sounds terrible at a gas station.
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna upgrade.
Highest selling items. Don't get gas station whiskey, man. That's a bad idea.
Oh, I thought you said enchilada, dude. I thought. Why
no.
I was like, gas station
No.
meat, like that might as well be a weight loss supplement.
Wow.
It's called a michelada. They're real big over here in LA. It's like a Bloody Mary, but with beer. Basically, is what it is. And they got these premixes at on the West Coast at these gas stations. Essentially, the equivalent of your 7-Eleven margaritas.
Excuse me, I go to the Circle K. I'm posh like that.
My boomer
Is Circle K supposed to be the bougie 7-Eleven?
Oh no, I'm just fucking around.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. They're all the same to me.
My dad lives in Santa Barbara, so he only drinks wine and skinny margaritas.
Wait, what's
skinny margaritas, man?
What is that?
Skinny girl margaritas?
No, skinny margaritas. It's like less. They don't put as much simple syrup in it, I think.
Oh.
We're literally driving through Santa Barbara right now.
Well,
said that.
Look up to one of the mountains and wave, and you'll probably see my dad.
I'm from Wisconsin. They don't do any drinks skinny in Wisconsin.
We don't do any drinks skinny at my house, but I live alone, so you know.
I don't know, man. If you're already drinking alcohol anyway, why make it skinny?
Yeah.
Seems counterproductive.
That like skinny girl, they had like skinny girl margarita that was like like all the college girls when I was in college. They were like skinny girl margaritas. We were obsessed with those. So that's what I was thinking of. But the skinny girl is like a brand of liquor and wine and stuff. So that's the thing. Yeah, Bruce, don't act like you don't know.
I don't.
I'm pretty sure that's all you drink.
I'm wearing a shirt from a bar in Cable, Wisconsin.
I bet they
know about these fancy drinks?
I bet they serve skinny girl at that bar.
No.
Basically, the idea is it's less sugar, more natural ingredients, and the idea to keep the calorie count low, so less carbs.
That sounds way better than I thought it was going to sound. So maybe I should look into that. Because the sugar is killing me, dude.
Jay is correct.
Jay is correct. Oh, the land of I thought that was a different comment. Sorry. I'm from Wisconsin. Why do anything skinny when it's the land of cheese?
Because state fairs, that's why.
Dude.
I'll get you.
Does anyone else love the fair?
We have
Just me.
one of the biggest fairs in Michigan, where I'm from, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Where in Michigan are you from again? Or like, you don't have to say, I guess, if you don't want to. But
In the
I've
thumb
only
area.
I've only been to Ann Arbor, where the university is. We had a swim meet there. But that's it.
Yeah, my one of my sisters goes to Ann Arbor.
Okay, cool. I like how we've gotten like so off topic 1,000 times and people are still here talking to us. So that's nice. Thanks everyone for sticking around.
Deb Peterson has a good question. Is there some sort of time limit for getting a ruling on all this jank that's been filed, or what?
Don't know. Omar will probably try to come back, but if not, Patrick should be with us shortly.
Okay. So the biggest thing is that she's got to respond to the first one.
Yeah.
And then now that he's filed this second one, we've got to go through the motions there. And I imagine this one being 30 pages is going to require a significant more response. So I wouldn't expect Woodnick to respond to it until probably Wednesday or Thursday. And then the judge is ultimately going to rule it. The problem is, my one criticism of Mata is that she takes a long time to rule on things. And it seems like it takes 3 or 4 weeks after the initial, the response, and then sometimes you get a reply in support as well.
After the response.
And then after that, it seems like it's 2 or 3 weeks to actually get something out. It's just...
Yeah. It's so much, but okay. But that's been the typical thing for the minute entries, right?
Right.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, at least 2, if not 3 weeks. I mean, other than the withdrawal of the Rule 26 motion, that was like 1 day, but then because a apparent clerical error, it didn't get posted for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it seemed like things were pretty quick before Gingras showed up.
Oh, this is like the same kind of question. Can he appeal without the bond? I don't think so, right? They can't appeal without a bond.
They can't appeal without a bond, but they also have to agree on attorney's fees first before that goes into effect.
Okay, Patrick, gotcha. Oh.
Things.
Hi!
Hey, folks. If it drops out again, I'll just probably dip out.
That's fine.
So you don't have to deal with the bad audio.
No.
I did my best.
Yeah, man. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
Don't leave us. Don't leave us yet, though.
You can speak more clearly on this, Omar. So we've entered this phase where we're waiting on them to talk about the application of attorney's fees. And can Jingras file his notice of intent to appeal before they finally fleshed out the attorney's fees? Because they have to put that up on bond.
They can. He can, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to wait till the last day. I know that was a big question, whether or not in Arizona they're required to post the attorney fees if they're going to file the appeals. Does he definitely have to do that?
Well, it says that if there's a judgment, they have to bond the judgment, but they're still arguing over how much the judgment is going to be. So you can't post the bond that you don't know what the total amount is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, so they'll have to post it then. But, I mean, it's not like they're going to have to come up with the entire judgment amount. They'll probably literally just get a bondsman and pay a bondsman whatever percentage, and the bondsman will put it up. That's usually how they do it in those scenarios anyway. But yeah, he can file his notice to appeal because there's appealable issues. The appeals are not going to be contingent on the amount of the judgment. So I don't believe that would be an impediment to him filing the notice. Because, I mean, insofar as the judgment amount was still up in the air or a movable variable prior to the expiration of the deadline to file their notice, it would be kind of silly to make the notice contingent upon that. And so he can file a notice of appeal whenever he wants. You file the notice of appeal simply to notify everyone you're filing the appeal. The actual meat of the appeal is going to be in the brief, and that's not going to be identified until much later. I don't know what the timelines are over there. It's usually like 90 to 100, 120 days or whatever it is. But notice of appeal, all that means is you bought your ticket to the game. You file your appellate briefs. There's a certain time frame to do it. And so I'd imagine if he wanted to, he could just file it today, and it's not really going to be contingent on the finality of the judgment amount. But is there still some wiggle room with the judgment amount?
I mean, if they're going, because they have to do the response to the application of attorney's fees and argue whether or not it's reasonable for Woodnick's costs.
But I thought that Woodnick's affidavit was pretty comprehensive.
Well,
Is there anything in there where he said that he was waiting for something to finish before he finalizes the amounts?
Well, we know that they've, in the notice of change of judge, they requested leave to file an addendum for the fees and costs for responding to that motion. But
okay, so it's literally just the cost to respond to Jingras' stuff then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that really doesn't have much bearing. I mean, the reasonableness of the attorney fees with respect to trial are already set in stone. It's already been done and litigated. If he wants to continue to litigate this stuff further with further motions, that's obviously additional attorney fees that is going to be subject to liability if he doesn't prevail and the other side is awarded attorney fees. But I feel like that the trial amounts of attorney fees, you can already make arguments about whether or not those are reasonable. And the trial's over, it's done. Those fees have already been recorded.
I imagine it's going to be a matter of Woodnick's rate is too high and needs to come down to a more manageable, because I think the Arizona bar has a list of rates for each attorney, and Jingras' rate is supposedly $295 an hour.
Bullshit. There's no chances he's only making $295 an hour.
For this client?
I would subpoena. All you got to do is get a retainer. Like on the retainer, what is he charging Laura Owens? What's his hourly rate? $295 is grossly low, even for Arizona. Arizona's not all that different than California when it comes to attorney fees. But most first California are charging $300 an hour. He's been litigating for 20 years. He's had high-profile cases. He could easily be charging north of $600 an hour.
Omar,
if he's claiming $295, yeah.
When we say $295, it's not $295. It's $2.95.
He's saying $2.95.
No, I said $2.95. Chat's like, his rate is now $2.95. It's like, chat, get out of here. You know what I mean.
He's a dollar store lawyer.
Bargain basement lawyers. Why not?
Hilarious.
So, according to this latest filing,
Sorry, Bruce.
He's saying that even though the judgment is final, the entire matter is on temporary hold due to the notice of change of judge, which extends a 25-day time limit to bring a motion under Rule 83C1. That deadline, which expires on July 13th, making the last day July 15th.
That might be true.
Also necessarily controls Laura's time to appeal, and it may not be extended by stipulation or court order.
He said on X he'd take the appeal pro bono. That's what someone in the chat says. Okay, I have not seen that yet.
But they still have to post the bond.
Right, but I haven't seen that yet. When did that happen?
Yeah.
There's no chance he's doing it pro bono.
Yeah, it didn't sound right.
And if he is, I'd like to see I would really like to see the. But I mean, then you say stuff like that, and the family's like, "Well, you said you do it for free." I don't know, man. It's a weird thing to say if you're not actually doing it.
Especially if they're doing podcasts together.
To be fair, he says a lot of stuff on Twitter that doesn't come true. So
I don't know, man. I've tried at every turn to give Jingras some credibility and give him respect where he deserves it. It's just one thing after another with this guy. He's just constantly shitting on his own reputation. What can I say?
I mean, he seems to think that he is doing a pretty good job for himself. So I don't know. I don't know if he sees it that way. But, I mean, everybody else does, obviously. But, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's some kind of business deal with Owens' family in the works, which would be highly unethical to have an arrangement like that and then call it pro bono work. I'm not even sure of the ethics of accepting that in exchange for a retainer. But, you know, good for him, I guess.
Are they allowed to give him a tip?
The legal aspect of it. Are they allowed to give him a what?
I said, are they allowed to give him a tip? Like, hey, thanks for the pro bono work. Here's a $100,000 tip.
You know what's funny, man? Every case that I've ever done pro bono, everybody always says that. It's like, oh, at the end of this, I know you're doing this for free, but I'm going to give you some money at the end. They never do, man.
Yeah.
As soon as the case is over, they dip out as if you never existed. And so you know better when people say stuff like that. It's almost never serious.
Yeah. Robert Taylor, thank you for the 2. Appreciate that. I'm so damn what the hell is going on in the chat right now? Something about a skunk? Oh, gross. Decorus Aventus, that is terrible.
Alrighty then.
A Reg Angel says maybe she's hooking up with the same agent she hooked Mike M up with. Who was that guy? Something Katz.
Yeah.
Katz. I don't remember.
Katz.
The one with the is it David Katz? Okay. With the Gmail address.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess they're gonna have a show together.
That looks like it was posted about 2 hours ago. It says Laura probably doesn't have the funds to put up for the appeal, and David said, not relevant. Laura is paying me, but if she can't afford the appeal, I'll do it pro bono, and the rules allow me to ask for an order requiring Clayton to pay for the appeal, regardless of who prevails. We'll use that option if necessary, but we aren't there yet.
Wait, why should Clayton have to pay for an appeal? He's not appealing.
Yeah, that's weird.
What?
I'd like to see what their rule is. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I'm going to force the person that I just lost against to pay for my appeal. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He can't even compel
lunch.
How is he going to compel someone to pay for an appeal?
If that was even a thing, I'd imagine it would be contingent on him prevailing on appeal, which is unlikely.
This is just kind of, I'm not, this is not a reflection of my political beliefs, but this is just kind of giving Mexico's going to pay for the wall. Like,
right.
I don't like to get political, but that's just too funny. Like, I cannot. Karen Karsten, thank you for the 2. He won't work pro bono during her prosecution. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith that that's going to happen, but, you know, we keep hoping. We keep hoping.
I don't know, man. At that point, she'll get a PD at the very least.
A PD?
Yeah.
A public defender.
I mean, she gets a free attorney at that point.
I thought you were saying a police department. I was like, sir, she's called the police a lot of times, but I don't think they're gonna give her a hold of police.
I don't think she'd be able to prove indigent circumstances though to get a public defender.
That's true. She did say she makes $200,000 a year, so there's that.
Her and her mom combined, I guess she's gonna say she makes about 10,000 of it or something.
I thought the numbers was like the revenues from the business was 500,000, and she takes a percentage of it, which equated to 200,000. That's how I remember it in my head.
Okay, I got that wrong then, because I thought they said 200,000 combined. That's my bad.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I would not put it past me.
I think it was her and her mother co-own the company. They're 50-50 owners, but she supposedly received like $200,000 annually from her parents.
I wish I could receive 200,000 annually from my parents.
No kidding.
I don't think I'd be a lawyer.
That's like an Easter present. It's fine.
She can't. She's Jewish.
Oh, dude, I forgot. How was I supposed to know? You have no idea, really.
I got to get in on this trust fund kick, man. It seems like a good life.
Can you be adopted as an adult? We should probably work on that then.
You got to ask who's trying to get adopted as an adult. Who was Natalia Grace?
Trust fund? Dude.
Yeah, Natalia Grace was adopted at like 19 years old. So there's precedent at the very least.
You don't even really need to be adopted. You just need to be put in some wills or
That's true.
A beneficiary of some trusts.
Luna's mom, thank you for the 5. A little bit of
Yeah,
reality. That'd be easy.
what it is.
I get some mental health assistance. Thank you, Luna's mom. Appreciate you. All right. Connor is, or not Connor. God, I keep wanting to call him Connor. Hang on. Coming in. I don't think he wants to show his face, but hey, what's up?
Hey, am I in here with you guys?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you do me a favor and just introduce yourself to the chat really quick?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hey everyone. It's like meeting your heroes. How's it going?
Hey, we're good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm on Reddit as my username here. Yeah, I've been an attorney for about as long as Omar, a little bit longer. I've been following this since like my girlfriend told me to in October. Yeah, I guess my current background is I'm in-house counsel for a pretty big consulting firm, and I guess I would say my expertise right now is like public records and like protecting companies' trade secrets and stuff. But I've done so many other little niche things that have sort of along the way contributed to my like shock at this case overall and just the ridiculousness that's ensued. So I appreciate helping you guys out any way that I can along the way.
Oh yeah, sure. And thanks for helping in the chat on trial day, by the way. I know Omar was in there with you. So yeah, that was good because I was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna keep up with this. I cannot do it all. You know, I was too worried about the camera. So, okay. So did you happen to see or like read anything from today?
I listened to your stream earlier,
Okay.
where you walked through it, and I had heard on my way home, we were trying to figure out just what is the next steps here in terms of what Woodnick can do and what Mata can do here, and yeah, you know, typically motions after a judgment like this, especially a final judgment, it's pretty rare in the sense that the relief that they're asking for is just so unique. But I'm not surprised. I think Omar hit the nail on the head when he said this is just like an appeal light, essentially, like the Bud Light version of an appeal.
Yeah.
Well, he says that he's trying to get all of these issues down on paper before an appeal. So he's just like, I'm just going to start crowding the docket with all of this paperwork to try and ensure that no possible avenue can be foregone because you didn't raise it, even though it's after the big things have been discussed.
Yeah. I understand the wanting to preserve issues for appeal, but just from what I heard, Lauren, you read, it's just like he's relitigating every issue, and it's this Frankenstein of emotion where he's trying to assume another judge is going to be reviewing the case while also arguing to the same or maybe a different judge, and so he's regurgitating all these
Don't
facts.
forget the judge's daddy. He's arguing him too.
Oh my God, that
Hey, daddy, I'm a real judge. I can't stop myself.
It kind of reminds me of the gingerbread man. He's like, "It's a
Dude,
thong."
That's why I keep talking like that. It's the Shrek gingerbread man. I can't hear it, and it's either Peter Griffin or Shrek gingerbread man. Hey, daddy.
You're a monster.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I don't. Yeah, but Woodnick will have to reply, which sucks because that's just cha-ching again for Clayton. So.
Hey, Patrick, how drunk would you have to be to put something like that in a motion that you wrote to anybody?
Oh God. Really drunk.
And how horrified would you be upon rereading it after you just sobered up? It's like, what did I find? What?
Yeah, that would be one of those things where you just, 20 years down the line, you just you remember it in the middle of the night as you're trying to fall asleep, and then you have to drink yourself to sleep that night.
Oh no.
I cannot. It's just unnecessary too. And what I thought was weird about it was that there's only there's a closed paren, but there's not an open paren. And one thing stylistically I've noticed about Gingras is he will quote people for shit they haven't actually said.
Yeah, right.
And so I feel like he's doing this cute by half thing where he's insinuating that this is something that Mod has actually said. But maybe calmer heads prevailed, and they were like, "Yeah, don't use a quotation mark there," and he just missed the edit. His wife is his paralegal, so maybe there is
really
I forgot about that.
Calmer head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do they have anyone else working with them? I don't think they do, right? It's just them.
I just saw that anecdotally that she was she works with them.
Yeah. Okay.
I would not want my wife to be my paralegal.
No, she's your camera woman.
I know.
She thought that was funny. I gotta laugh. Okay.
I could not talk to her the way that I would want to talk to her if she's my paralegal.
Oh my God, she's holding your camera right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She did it as an act of service. I was holding it myself, and she grabbed it from me.
You better be driving her directly to a vineyard.
Oh my God.
Where we're going.
Yeah.
Cigars and whiskey by the beach. We're on an old folks vacation.
I like that.
A little mini getaway from the toddlers.
Dude, I hope I have the energy for that when I'm old. You guys are not old, though.
No, but we're doing old folks stuff, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, man. So, Patrick, your girlfriend got you into this case. Do you watch The Bachelorette at all?
I started dating her when Golden Bachelor came out.
Oh, okay.
So I did watch that, and it got me to shed some tears, not gonna lie. But then after that, she was like, "You won't believe this shit that's going on right now."
Oh,
and
no?
This might be a hot take, but I was right off the bat, I was like, well, he did it, and that's not cool that he did that. And she was just adamant because she had actually read, she was part of the original discussion when can we say her name?
Yeah, go ahead.
When Voldemort was
you can say Voldemort, you can say whatever here. I'm going to get demonetized anyways because of how I talk, so you're fine.
When she was on Reddit originally, and I'm trying to remember the first thing where I was, it was the baby bump. I watched the video, and I texted her, and I was like, "That's not a real belly." And she was part of a Discord at the time, and that they were really investigating it closely, and they all agreed, and then that was kind of where my first wow, this is not real.
Yeah.
But I still believed for quite a while that she was pregnant at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what I thought at first. Was. Yeah. I thought so at first. No, I mean, just before we all realized she was full of shit, I was like, oh, I think she's pregnant. I just think she's kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
that was my first thought. And then I saw everything that happened and the evidence that came out, and I was like, oh, you're an asshole.
We did play a game one night though that was, what is the most ridiculous thing that you've witnessed in this saga? So I'd love to hear y'all's answers.
Oh, I'm not gonna go.
Oh, I have my answer already. My answer is on the ready.
Go ahead.
As you recall, I did my first live stream on this about like maybe a month before the trial. And I was literally sifting through all of the evidence in real time. And then I came across that one email where she was extorting him. She was like, if you want to be with me, then I will get an abortion. But if you're breaking up with me, then I'm keeping it. And I'm going to go put you on trial. She's all of this stuff. And then she's like, I just feel like if you felt how tight I was, that you would change your mind about me. And that was the first time I was like, hold on, pause. Let me read that again. And it was like, and then it's like, we were, okay, all bets are off. That was a moment for me.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That email, it's iconic.
Tight vagina thing for sure.
I think mine was probably the, if you don't drop your case against me, I'm going to sue you for $1.4 million in failed real estate deals.
The blatant extortion.
Yes.
That is an illegal extortion.
And then Jingras has the nerve to say that that was a legal settlement offer. Like, no, don't even. You're using the threat of not pursuing a legal case as means to get a settlement. No, that's not how settlement works.
People in the comments are reliving the moment that Omar read the tight vagina email.
It was a wild time.
Sorry, I've got a dark dog here.
No problem.
Bruce, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know. So I had a real sort of surreal moment on June 10th at about 6 or 6:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah?
Where I was in a courthouse parking lot after taking an airplane flight and hanging out with Clayton Eckerd the night before. And then, like, I'm setting up microphones and a SWAT team starts setting up next to me. And I was like, how did I fucking get here? Like, what is this?
Do you think
What
that
is
had anything
happening?
to do with the court case, Bruce, or was it just a side
What?
show? Nothing. I said, did it have anything to do with the court case, or were they just there for you for another reason?
I mean, that was when my mind sort of tilted a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty bizarre. Well, you know, there were hundreds of people there, so
Right.
that was the stupidest thing I ever read. I was like, hundreds of people. Like, that man knows there were not hundreds of people in there.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So crazy. Question for Patrick and Omar. What is, like, the craziest thing you've seen in court not related to this case? Like, something crazy.
I was cross-examining a guy once.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let Patrick give his first, and then I'll go.
Oh no, you're on the road, man. And if you're gonna cut off, I'd rather you get
Yeah,
what
go
you say.
ahead.
The craziest thing, and I'm sure there's crazier, but that I can think of right now, is I was recently cross-examining a guy, and I was laying into him across. And then it just got to the point where I asked him a question, and then I said something like, "That's not the question I asked you, is it, sir? So when I did this, what was this?" And then he's like, "I hate you." It's in front of the judge. And then it stumbled me. I had to catch my breath. I said, "Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, but you do well to answer the question." And then we were continuing. I don't know if it's the craziest, but it's one of the most memorable.
Was it just like, oh, I hate you? Or was it like passionate, like, I hate you? You know what I mean?
In my mind, it was the passion, "I hate you. I wish you were dead." Like he was a 12-year-old schoolboy or something.
You're not my real dad.
But I'm sure it was not nearly as in that dramatic voice that I just recited. I like to think it was, though.
That's awesome. All right, Patrick, you're up.
That's amazing.
Oh. Yeah, I've never gotten yelled at from the stand. But But I was in I was doing a pro bono case for a child custody, which I'm sure Omar knows can be super contentious. And the mother was trying to say that somehow the mother had gotten into their divorce decree that the father could not bring the child around any girlfriends the father ever had for forever. I don't know how they negotiated that in there. Omar's nodding his head like, yep. And the mother...
I've seen those before.
Alleged that he had brought the child around the girlfriend. So we went into court because she filed a pro se motion for contempt. And the judge granted it. Not granted it, but the judge decided to hold a hearing. Why shouldn't I hold you in contempt? And so I had to get up there, and the mother starts testifying for the child. Well, the child told me this, the child told me that. And it's like law school 101, like objection, hearsay, objection, hearsay, objection, hearsay. And she finally looks at the judge and she just goes, "Judge, can you tell him to shut up?" And the judge, the judge looked at her and was like, "Well, unless you're prepared to bring your 7-year-old child up here to testify, which I am personally not prepared to do, then he's correct." So my client did not go to jail that day.
Oh my god. Okay, I know these are not court stories, but I just like story time. I want to hear what Brad and Bruce's craziest stories are from a client or anything like that.
I don't
or
have
dumbest.
clients.
Dumbest works too. You don't have clients. What do you do? Like, you work for IT, like...
Yeah, I work for a corporate company, like...
Okay, well then what's the dumbest work story that you have? Like, that somebody asked the dumbest thing, or somebody said the weirdest thing, or something like that. We're doing story time tonight.
I found out some coworkers, one dragged another one into a furry convention.
Yeah, that fucking counts, man. That's weird.
Like, what did you do? Oh,
wait. Did you find out because you were also there?
No.
Or how did you find out? Okay.
Like, hearing this guy tell this tale about how this one guy wanted to go hang out to this convention, and then come to find out it was a furry convention, and then it's like, oh god, no, why? And then there's photos
Comic-Con?
There's photos getting posted on X and about like entire planes full of furries, and these flight attendants were there. They go, no, that should not be happening, because if that plane goes down, half of the entire IT staff for the United States are going to be dead. And it's just like, no, please don't let that be a thing.
Oh, I heard Thor talk about that. That's hilarious.
Could you send me an invite to your side of social media? Because I'm missing this stuff. Bruce, you're up.
So one funny story, when I first started working where I work, I was new, and we worked in a lab. So I'm in the lab. And back then, if you were sort of newer, an intern, you would share a cubicle, like a big cubicle with someone. And our intern at the time, so he was like a summer intern, and he worked in the lab. And one day he comes into the lab, and apparently someone had been stealing equipment from the lab and selling it at pawn shops or something.
Jesus.
And the lab managers finally figured out who was stealing the stuff. And so our intern comes in. He's like a few weeks in, like 2 weeks in. And he's like, the police just came and handcuffed the guy in my cube buddy, and dragged him out of the building. Because apparently that was the guy who stole stuff. And he comes up to me and he's like, does this happen often?
No.
Oh no, Omar. He's frozen.
I thought that was funny. I don't know.
That's awesome. Oh, we lost Omar.
It's all right.
Yeah.
He's in wine country now.
Oh no, there he is. He's back again. Hey.
He's in and out.
You're back.
What's up, folks?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to dip out because I'm in a bad area. I'm about to get to my destination. But it's been fun, folks.
Yeah, you guys have fun.
Yeah, enjoy Armor.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for your time on this.
We will. You guys all have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.
That was fun. I liked him coming in. I have not had him on my stream yet. I think it was the first time. So I've been on his a couple times so that we did get to meet and talk and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure most people who are watching this have seen that already. So hold on. Let me see. I'm just looking at the comments to see if there are any questions. Guys, do you have any questions for Patrick while he's with us?
I do, but mine are in private chat.
Wait, I need to read this. Oh.
I don't know if I have that.
Yeah, you do. It's up in the right corner where it says comments in private chat.
On my YouTube or on my
StreamYard?
Full screen, that's why. Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, lots of people still.
But we poach from there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Two things. Oh, whoops, wrong comment. Two things I wanted to say was, one, your smile is gorgeous. Thank you, Lucy Chase. That's nice. Two, you're naturally hilarious. Love to watch. Thank you. I am especially hilarious when I'm not trying to be. So, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, we forgot to say bye to Mari. Oh well, people were still calling her Mrs. Omar up there. I saw.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely got like a lot off topic, but I'm actually like enjoying my time, so it's nice.
Yeah, do you have any overarching thoughts on this case, Patrick?
Oh gosh, there's so many different facets to it, right? Like, what's the fallout? I mean, most of my thoughts are on Reddit. Not gonna lie.
Are there things like? Do you have any questions? Like, you wish you could, if you could get some answers to a question, what would you want to know? From a legal perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all goes to state of mind. Like, what was her honest, subjective belief at the time she filed that lawsuit? Because I think that's really what matters. I don't agree with David's Jingras's position that she can just think that she's was pregnant and is therefore
If she had
pregnant.
a reasonable belief that she was pregnant, then that's all she needed.
Yeah, I don't think that's correct. I also think Mata kind of alluded to, well, she needs to have clear and convincing evidence. So, and I think it's like somewhere in between that. But I think filing the lawsuit, I just really would love to know her subjective belief. I also just want to know, like, how she gets the internet scrubbed so well. Like, what reputation defender does she use, and how can I get it?
Well, I mean, none of those guys before Clayton really, I mean, they didn't really have any sort of public profile, but also they're kind of private, so like, I guess nobody would really know about it unless you were specifically looking for it. And why would you be,
Yeah.
Not to take the sexist viewpoint, but I think being a woman, if you can use trust and safety to claim harassment, it's a lot easier than guys to be able to say that they're harassing me. But I think that she just uses trust and safety's preponderance for wanting to protect women from being harassed, especially for someone who feels like the internet is coming after her because a lot of people are talking about her, and just by filing mass reports of this person's harassing me, then she just gets it through in the same way that she gets legal filings through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I clerked for a judge on Martha's Vineyard my first year in law school, and which was a great job. And it was mostly restraining orders. Like, everyone on Martha's Vineyard has a restraining order against everyone else, and the standard is super subjective. But another thing to your point, Bruce, I would love to know the ex parte conversation with Judge Duty. And what Judge Duty said, and he had that caretaker mentality that I would just really appreciate knowing what the hell went down there. And I really want to know about March 22nd.
March 22nd.
what she accused Greg and
Oh,
Greg
okay.
of. If it wasn't that, what was it? I mean, like, I've filed FOIAs around that time asking for police reports, haven't gotten anything back.
Mhm.
Like,
Are you in
What?
like the Dave Neal community Discord?
no, I've got to give myself some type of line here, or else I'll go overboard.
Right.
For sure. It's
I was going to say, if
respectable.
you DM me, I'll tell you what I know about that.
He can find you on Twitter.
But I don't want to speculate and talk about it here.
Yeah. Of course.
IB003 or 0093, thank you for the 5. Crazy client story. On a team client calls voice only. It was obvious someone was masturbating, got louder with each call. Well, that is
Ooh.
I mean,
I do have a work story like that.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm number one, I'm scared of that. Number two, I work in the ER and people do that all the fucking time. Anyways, Bruce,
ER?
go on. Bruce, go on. Yeah, in the ER.
Wait,
especially.
what? You mean patients or employees?
Patients.
So
Dude,
they come in with like a grievous ER injury and they just start
Oh,
thinking one out?
when they're in my area of the ER, they're either on drugs or like schizophrenic.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So like
It's not like they got their arm cut off or something.
or they're just like really bad people who are like violent. Like they come from the jail and stuff like that, and they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna wank. It's fine.
Yeah.
So
when I worked in the recording studio, the music recording studio in high school, so I was like 17 or 18, and this guy comes in and he wants me to duplicate a cassette tape. And so I'm duplicating this cassette tape, and he's like, and you know, I had some headphones so I could hear the tape, so I knew it was working, but I wasn't wearing them. And he's like, no, keep listening. So I'm listening, and it's a tape of a phone call. Like he's taping a phone call, and it's him talking to this lady on the other side of the line, and she sounds kind of out of it. And he's like, tell me what you think. And I'm like, what am I listening for? And he's like, do you think she's having sex?
It's
And I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I'm here. You know, I need to mix a smoke on the water. You know, like this is this recording studio. I'm not your lawyer. Like, are you allowed to do this? Like, it was weird.
Oh,
Brad, do you want me to share your screen down here?
Yeah, if you want.
There you go.
So this is Thor talking about
Guys, I'll be right back. I just gotta run downstairs real quick.
Right on.
Well, no, you can't leave.
Well, I really have to pee, dude.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna play it until she gets back then, because it loses its comedic value.
All right, let me wait. I'll wait.
It's a short, so it's less
Wait,
than
am
a
I
minute.
gonna laugh so hard that I pee my pants though?
You're gonna need to.
Just thinking.
Okay, just go.
You better absolutely love and pray for every plane that takes into the sky during any type of furry convention of the world. Because if one of those goes down, the entire IT system goes with it. And I'm not wrong about that. Literally all of the United States IT infrastructure goes down with that plane. It's terrifying. They should split them up. They shouldn't all be in one plane. You better absolutely love...
Oh,
that was realer than I thought. Okay. That was way realer than I thought. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Hey Brad, do you have the motion that got filed today by Jingras?
Yes, I do.
Could I just see the header of it? I'm curious. I want to see what the posture of this is.
So I can't share, but there's folks on X that have it, but it says motion to vacate judgment, semicolon, motion for new trial, semicolon, alternatively, because he misspelled alternatively, motion to alter/amend judgment, semicolon, motion for leave to extend page limits.
Okay. So
is it common to concatenate all these different things into one document?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I was wondering.
There might actually even be a rule in Arizona that you can't. Certainly at the federal level, yeah, this probably would get rejected. But those are all legitimate motions that all have their own separate grounds and should be briefed separately. Like, these are the crown jewel of motions. You're essentially advocating for your client to get out scot-free or to get a do-over. So why you would blended into a 100-page document that confuses everyone. You know what, and maybe that is why, because I do think that is sort of what we're dealing with this attorney is, I have some opinions about just the state of our legal community right now that I won't soapbox, but I feel like our legal community is in sort of like a crisis of conscience right now, where people feel like, well, we see lying every single day, so it's okay to lie, and we see people getting away with it, so it's okay to do it. And yeah, I'll stop there, but this is very on brand, I would say.
I think Megan Fox's idea of having mandatory perjury offices inside of every DA's office is a good idea, because the idea that nobody prosecutes perjury within the legal system is a very self-fulfilling prophecy regarding what you're saying, is that if everyone is just getting away with lying, and then they see that it continues to go through, well then, when someone raises their hand to swear that they're not going to, it doesn't mean anything. And we already saw that with Laura. She will swear to anything that she can and will in order to try and get around facing any consequences.
Yeah. It's... yeah, I mean, I also think that the motion itself, just from the tidbits I heard Lauren read like Laura's bar complaint against Woodnick, with just chat GPT'd out into these multiple bullets. So part of me is thinking, Brad, that this is sort of like the final boss of perjury here. But it's... yeah, that all those motions make sense, and I don't know why they're all put together like that.
Well, here's the link in private chat for you. So,
oh, thank you.
This is the big one from today. What is it? 32 pages?
32 pages, because it's 5 or 6 briefs concatenated together.
Motion to vacate, totally fine. New trial, totally fine. The alternatively, you don't even really need to... oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so he does this because he doesn't know which judge is going to get the case, because if his notice for change of judge gets accepted, then he's got to rebrief everything anyway. But if it still retains with Mata, then he needs to file the petition for amend, because then nothing's going to get overturned.
You know what? It's kind of chef's kiss that he's created this clusterfuck for himself, though.
In what way?
He's got to talk out of 3 sides of his mouth at this point to... a new judge, the old judge, the appellate
presiding
court.
Judge. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I'm just trying to get to the prayer for relief, because I can't even imagine.
Well, he wants every motion vacated, and I think the best one is that he wants the motion for lunch, or the compelling for lunch, vacated. It's like, why? What does that serve now, 2 months afterwards?
What would that mean? That someone has to go to lunch with him?
It means they have to go to dinner.
I guess he can ask again.
I think the idea is if it's vacated, then that means that they don't have to pay attorney's fees on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have to.
That's true. They probably spent a lot of time laughing about the lunch thing.
Oh, I imagine.
Rack up the money.
That was probably the go-to lunch line in the Woodnick office is, hey, I'm going to compel you for lunch.
Yeah. That probably got old real quick.
Oh, I imagine.
I think they're over this, yeah.
Yeah, Woodnick wants to be done with this, because in Woodnick's eyes, now that it's they've received final judgment on it. He wants to be done with Laura Owens because this is like the final piece of having to deal with her from the Gillespie case and then now Clayton.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually having a hard time finding this.
What are you looking
The
for?
relief?
Yeah, I see a motion for additional relief, but I don't see. I'm opening it on my Adobe now. I've got quite the setup over here.
Yeah, I think it's just the additional relief. I don't think there was any like particular relief that he's requesting, which is weird because why would you have 6 different things asking for different things if there's no individualized relief in either? And maybe that's just his problem in how he's writing it, is that by not asking for a particular relief in each motion, then he's not going to get any because there's nothing to give.
Sorry, guys, I lost you there for a sec.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it seems like your
But
connection.
I heard what you said up. Yeah, I think I had too many tabs. Yeah, I heard what you said about there not being really anything he's actually asking for. But I guess that's the overarching question of I want a new trial. I want the judgment vacated.
Yeah.
But he didn't ask for it. So it's like, this is just words.
Is that important?
Didn't even provide a proposed order. It's odd. I'd probably have to look at this a little closer.
Okay. What was the point of bringing up the jury trial thing if they're not asking for a jury trial? Like, that's not what they want.
Yeah, I guess it's just to assert that that there was some type of reversible error. I think this is going to Jingras' idea to throw anything that might be an appealable issue at the wall and see what sticks. I'm glad to see that his appeal grounds are so asinine, because it makes me feel better about the chances. But yeah, that's all I read it as.
Yeah.
Do you think it's not even going to get to a de novo and it's just going to get denied?
I think we have to wait for, of course, lawyer answer. We have to wait for the filing to see what he actually asserts. But I think that that's sort of why this is such a treacherous time, because they are crowdsourcing their legal positions here, and this is sort of to bait us out into, oh, well, he missed this and he missed this, and so he can cherry pick what is going to be appealable. As it stands currently, I have to agree with Omar that the issues that he's identified don't seem to be ripe for appeal, because at the appellate level we're talking about either clear errors that would be outcome determinative of the case, or legal errors where the judge made an error of law. And all of the errors that would be factual errors don't seem to be outcome determinative, and all of the legal errors, like no jury trial, are not reasonable.
I mean, especially for that to become a supposed appellate issue when the case was literally handed down by the Supreme Court 2 weeks ago. So, like, does it really matter at this point? Because you haven't asserted your desire for a jury trial at any point, and then now to try and throw a Supreme Court opinion into the trial after the judgment, is it really worth it? Like,
yeah. I sometimes wonder if he gets his precedent like directly from CNN, MSNBC, New York Times. But I think you hit the nail on the head there, Brad, because it is new, right? So maybe he thinks some Arizona appeals court's going to be like, oh yeah, I guess we should opine on this now that the Supreme Court has opined on it. But there's certain appellate just threshold issues: standing, ripeness, mootness. Standing meaning like you are the person aggrieved and entitled to relief. Ripeness meaning like the issue is ripe for appeal, for an appellate decision, like it's percolated in the lower court system for a long enough time. Mootness is the issue that is being presented to you. Is it really no longer an issue because of other things, aka maybe there's a statute that says, a federal statute that says, hey, this jury trial doesn't apply to the states. So there are these other just structural key, like doors that have to get unlocked that I don't see anything. I don't think he's found the key yet, but I think he is looking.
He's actively looking, and
yeah.
Because the thing is I wonder about this this idea that if he gets a brand new trial and says, we're going to redo June 10th all over again, and maybe we'll get 4 hours instead of 2. Would it actually be better for Laura or not? Because anything that she testified to in June 10th could still be brought up, because they have the transcript and everything, and say, okay, we're back here again, September 15th at the new trial, and on June 10th, you said that, or you had previously said you went to Mission Viejo, you said you went to Mesa whatever, and then on the day of trial, it said you went to Los Angeles. Well, we got a new HIPAA release, and we went to Los Angeles to determine that you went there and either June 28th or June 2nd, and they said that they had no records of them in addition to not being open on Sunday. So, where's the stupid sonogram?
Yeah. I don't even know, Brad, if they would be able to reopen the discovery window, because discovery is closed 30 days prior to trial. So that's also what's ticking me off about this, is that there's nothing new, in my opinion, that can be had. If they get a new trial and a new judge, I think the only way that Laura sneaks out of it is to just create some type of new drama that gets her the relief that she wants, because the facts are the facts.
Because even if they're locked into the facts of discovery that closed in April, the facts all are bad for Laura. Like there's no real good facts, and the fact that they're trying to get the diamond in the rough kind of story for her is just, it's really not looking good. And just to put her on the stand, get Deandra cross-examining her to get her all flustered up again.
I would like to watch that.
I'll take the new trial for that.
We get super camera woman Lethal Lauren out there.
Who is actually not doing much at all, but Scott's doing all the work.
Just a bandolier of SD cards.
Yeah. But other than making it longer, and then we could get Greg to testify, we could get Mike to testify, we could get Barry Hill to testify, because all of those things were brought up in discovery, so they would be actually able to be discussed. So I think that would be the best thing, is that you get more Woodnick centered evidence that would impeach her story and credibility even more so.
Unfortunately, I don't think the game for them is truth. I think the game is attrition.
Oh yeah, easy. They're hoping that they can rest on Laura's father's money as a longer runway than what Clayton and Woodnick are willing to put up with.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a strategy for Clayton and Woodnick in this war of attrition? Like, is there anything they can do proactively, or do they just have to react?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I want to give up, and I'm not even briefing these things.
Right.
they'd have to just sort of take it as it comes and just know that this is that
what their strategy is.
Yeah, and that they're going to prevail at the end of the day, and it's just going to be more money. But I actually, this is just shot from the hip, but I did see one time in a prior case, Laura filed so many motions that the judge said, "Hey, before you file any more motions, you got to come to me and get them approved."
Was she labeled vexatious? I don't remember that.
No, she wasn't adjudicated it. It was in a minute order from, gosh, was it Cactus? It might have been Cactus.
She got put on slow mode.
Yeah, she got slow mode. Like that. I could probably find it. But yeah, there's a tiny little line that says, before you file anything else, you got to come to me first. So I would hope that the judiciary has like a mechanism to deal with this and call it out.
I think they should, because the level or the number of motions that he's starting to put in, because now he has the ability to file a reply for the notice of change of judge, possibly. Then we expect Woodnick to reply to this 6-motion chimera of an argument.
Ish.
And then Jingras would probably want to reply to that. Then we have to wait, 3 to 4 weeks for whichever judge is going to respond to it. And not to mention, we're expecting a notice of appeal to come in the next month now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to respond to that. Yeah. I'm not sure if any other lawyers have weighed in on this. And I was honestly reading the statute like on the treadmill at the gym. So
yeah, that's dedication.
Sometimes just nerding out, basically. It's just passes time. I listen to you at the gym, not even gonna lie.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm so lazy, but thank you for doing that.
I'm just walking. I'm not doing anything intense. But I feel like I read that if you raise a request to change the judge at the trial level, you do not get to, if your appeal gets returned to the lower court, you don't get to re-raise the request to change judge. I think Bree talked about that, and I'm pretty sure I read it yesterday. So I was actually surprised that they were shooting their shot now to ask for the change of judge, as opposed to just going directly to the appeal route, like holding on to the change of judge card, and then if it gets appealed, then they can ask for a change of judge, instead of just sort of gingerbread man or whatever he did. I'll pull that.
That's a stale gingerbread man.
Frankenstein.
I will pull that up because I kind of want to find that now.
So it would be Arizona Family Law Procedure 6.1.
While you're doing that, hang on. Karen Carson, thank you for the 5. She could have won hands down with one legit OBGYN and sonogram, but she lied. Yeah, that's true. Dang crazy. There was something else on here. Oh, yeah. Dev said Deandra might represent Mike in California. I don't know anything about that, but I know that if somebody sued me, I would be fine as long as Deandra was representing me. So,
yeah, so that's the war. Do we get Omar or do we get Deandra to represent Mike?
Both, please. Honestly, either one is going to be a slam dunk to in my mind, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, if somebody was going to sue me and I could get Deandra to represent me, then I would be a happy camper. She's like the right kind of scary. You want her on your side. Laura would have to face Deandra again. Yep. Deandra's a rock star. House Husband says, how will the comments about Mata and Teehee comments fare? Teehee! I don't know. I can't read that without laughing. I'm sorry. Like, I know some people have said, like, it's super offensive, and I agree. It is very offensive. And, like, some people have said it's misogynistic and minimizing, and I agree with all that. But, like, I have heard so much awful shit on a daily basis from when I was working full-time in the hospital that I just, like, it's just hilarious. It's all hilarious to me, no matter how inappropriate. So
I think if Mata doesn't have things I'm going to report Jingras for, then she really should start getting a legal pad going of all the things that he's done in her presence or submitted in motions, to then just keep some notes and figure out what she's actually going to submit for the bar. Because Woodnick actually said, look at ethical rules 8 point whatever for a possible referral to the bar.
So it is. I did find it, but it's in the section for change of judge as a matter of right.
Oh, that's in 6, not 6.1.
Yeah, 6F. I do not think it's a good idea to share my screen.
You don't have to.
I mean, I can bring it up.
Brad can do it. House husband, Jingras acts mentally ill. So I've seen this comment like a few times in the last few days, and you know I love to like harp on the mental health stuff. I think that we are too quick to say that somebody is mentally ill nowadays. I think if you like have a certain personality where it's like you're confrontational and stuff like that, that's not necessarily a mental illness that would give you an excuse for acting that way. I don't think it is a compromising mental health issue if he does have a mental health issue. I really think that some people just have shitty personalities, and we're too quick to categorize that now because it makes sense to us. Otherwise, we're just like, I can't believe this person's doing this. How can they do this? No, I don't think that he is mentally ill in a matter that it would change like the course of like why he's doing what he's doing. I think that he is just a dick. So
I have a thought on that, Lauren, when we're...
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say...
Oh, you wanted to pull up the thing first?
Yeah.
Or...
So, Patrick, agree.
Yeah, on F right here. So it says in actions remanded from the appellate court. So if he appeals and it goes, and the appellate court agrees and sends it back to Mata, the right to change judge is renewed. And no event connected to the first trial constitutes a waiver. And then it has this colons here, meaning these two things have to be true. If the appellate decision requires a new trial, and the party seeking a change of judge has not previously exercised the party's right to a change of judge in the action. So I think that because they're exercising the right now, they can't do it again if it gets remanded. But I'm probably wrong about that. I feel like I'm wrong about that. In actions remanded, the right to change a judge is renewed. So they won't get this chance again they won't get the chance again
if it gets remanded and they have previously exercised the right to change judge, they do not get it back.
Correct. As a matter of right, they can do it for cause, right? Okay, that makes sense.
But the weird thing is that he's saying that Woodnick is arguing based on Procedure 6, but he's arguing it under 6.1, which is separate. But the way that these bulletins read, it seems like 6 would be superseding of 6.1 unless otherwise listed.
Yeah, because why not take the easier route? Oh, right, because it's untimely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want to go back, Brad. I'd like you to go first because we're going to ask Lauren a question about her job, and then I also have a question for you, Lauren.
What's up?
Did you blank on your question, Brad? Or
no, I know what it is. You go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Well, so I'll bring this down. So in speaking about how people are quick to label things mental illness, do you think that how I think in the past 10 years or so, we've gone from a society that talks about autism, in how autism was a singular multi-purpose thing for how something is, to now becoming a spectrum disorder. And then we're even getting close to just categorizing it as it's just everyone's personality, it's not even a mental illness at that point.
Sorry, I'm trying to understand the question. Can you like lay it out for me one more time?
So
With
the
autism.
idea is spectrum used to be like 10 years ago, you'd be like, oh, well, my son has autism, which was
Right. Or Asperger's.
Or a very severe learning disability that would impair their daily function. But then now everyone will just say, well, I'm being an autist right now because I'm hyperfixating on something, and we're lowering it to the stage where it's just a personality trait versus something that would rise to the level of being a learning disorder or something like that.
I don't really like the direction that it's going in, because I think, having seen like people who truly suffer from like autism to the where they're like low functioning and stuff like that, the way people throw around autism on like TikTok and shit like that now, like I'm autistic, like they diagnose themselves and stuff like that. I'm like, if you actually knew what it was like to be autistic, you would never claim that online. So I don't love the direction that it's going in, just because I feel like it's kind of diminishing things, and it's almost becoming
That's
trend.
what I was kind of leading towards.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. And I think, like, especially when real like people who truly suffer from autism come into the hospital and stuff like that, like I treat them differently than I would treat somebody who was like schizophrenic or something like that, because like a schizophrenic, like if you give them meds, they might, you know, come into a different kind of mental capacity. But like a truly autistic person, like they're at their baseline, like they have these challenges they face every day. There's not something that you can snap on and snap off. It's not something you can post online for a 15-second video and be like, I'm autistic, everybody love me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just don't love the direction that it's gone in. I think it's going in a direction that's kind of dangerous. So did that answer your question?
It's just, I just wanted whether you were getting the same vibe that I was getting, that social media and whatnot were downplaying or degrading it to just a thing.
For sure. I'm not a fan of that at all. I actually like stopped looking at a lot of social media stuff. Like I barely look at Facebook. I don't look at TikTok anymore at all. I made all my stuff private. I'm just like, I can't deal with people doing this. Like I do not like it at all, the way that it's going. So.
Because I've got a sister who has the mental capacity of a 13-year-old, and she graduated high school, but not to a high degree or anything. And she used to work at a movie theater, and even that, the amount of stress that she was getting from being in a public space and the expectations of just minute work. Like nobody likes working with the public in any sense, but for her, like they wanted to see if she could work like a cash register at fast food, but that was, the amount of pressure was just immense for her, and she couldn't do it.
That's gotta be awful, honestly. Like I never had to work fast food. When I worked odd jobs, it was like I was doing reporting and stuff like that when I was in college and all that. But being a worker at like a fast food restaurant, or being like a waiter, a waitress, or working in a movie theater, like that all actually sounds like very stressful, because people are terrible to workers in those jobs. So like I can't imagine like having that kind of like disability or whatever, and like having people approach me and just be like such assholes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I couldn't deal with it on my own. Like I'll be honest, like I cannot deal with what a like McDonald's worker, like people puts people down all the time, like, oh, go work at McDonald's, or you work at McDonald's. I'm like, no, I could not deal with what a person who works at McDonald's deals with on a regular basis. I do not want to fucking talk to people like that. Like I don't want them to talk to me like that. Like it sucks. So yeah, like that's really stressful for anybody, let alone somebody with that kind of impairment. So
we actually had to get I think it was the National Guard recruiter was coming through and trying to find all the teenagers that were working at the movie theater, and I had to get on him and like, dude, I'm a vet. You do not want my sister, because you might think she's waiverable, but you have no idea.
Right. Yeah.
In another, when I started my legal career doing Social Security disability claims, so I worked for the feds, like doing the appeals. Basically, you file for Social Security disability at the state level, you get denied, you can do a reconsideration, you get denied, and then it goes up to an
Right.
administrative law judge. And after that, I did service connection, Brad. So thank you for your sacrifice.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And definitely at the Social Security level, it just it's the standard for what is considered disabled is just so out of whack with what is actually, in my opinion, actually can cause someone to be disabled.
That's true. So where you are, I don't know if it's any different where you are than where I am. So what do you think normally gets qualified as like this is disabled versus this is not?
Yeah, that was my question. Are you do you like analyzing people for like Baker Act situations?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I'm barred in Florida and Massachusetts, so I'm familiar with both. And I just moved from Northern Virginia to Florida. So
Oh, you live where I live.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We will play Fortnite sometime.
It's gonna be so bad. Yeah.
I've actually got some friends who are streaming right now. So I might drop to go play with them. But I will
no problem.
remind me of your question.
So you were talking about the like what qualifies versus what doesn't qualify, and I didn't know you lived here, so I was like, what is like where you live, like what qualifies and what doesn't. So here, like I feel like the burden is actually pretty high. To where like most of our clients would get denied.
Yeah.
And it was like it almost never gets overturned or like never goes well on appeal. There are people who genuinely like cannot function normally because of their like there is severe depression where you like cannot hold a job. Like that is a real thing. And like people think that like because there are so many people who say, oh, I'm depressed, I can't do anything, I don't want to do anything, that like those people aren't really like disabled, I guess. And I feel like that makes it more difficult for people who are like truly suffering to the point they cannot function regularly.
Not Laura Owens disabled.
Yeah, not riding a horse disabled, but
I have wondered. Yeah, so there's something I don't mean to explain something you probably are an expert in.
All good.
It's not for us; it's for the viewers. So,
first of all, Social Security disability, since it's a federal program, it's decided based on federal regulations, so it should be uniform throughout the states. But really, what it comes down to is what's called like a consultative evaluator, and that you can have a physical consultative evaluator or you can have a mental consultative evaluator. And those people are hired by the state to give a medical opinion on what's called your residual functional capacity. Meaning with the disabilities that you have, mental and physical, what is the maximum amount of work that you're capable of doing. So let's say you are diagnosed with severe depression and you would miss 4 days of work. Would that be a tolerable amount of 4 days of work a month? Would that be a tolerable amount of work to miss, or could you not hold a job? So the standards are all the same, but the consultative evaluators, my dad is a mental consultative evaluator, so it's a family business. But he, I find he's a very empathetic person, but he also, has told me some stories where he's like, yeah, you can call a bullshitter a bullshitter. But one thing we were talking about recently is that some people have mental health issues, but they don't have access to healthcare sufficient enough to have documentation of those limitations. Yeah. And
my experience is limited to like when I worked in outpatient kind of, because we don't really do that in inpatient. We don't work with that. But like when I was an outpatient, my first 2 or 3 years working in psych, they were called SSDI coordinators or SOAR processors or something. And those people worked exclusively on disability type stuff with the patients. And so I only have limited knowledge as to like what they were doing and the questions they would ask me and stuff like that, and whatever they would tell me just in passing. And I just know that a lot of people applied and very few people got it. And unfortunately, a lot of times the people who were denied, they were people who really needed it. But the volume of people who were asking for it, it's like most of those people, like they could work part-time, you know what I mean? Or they could go get a job and just like, they wouldn't like it, but they could work if they kept taking their meds and they kept going to therapy and stuff like that. And they just didn't want to. So I don't know. I feel like it's like oversaturated almost. It's like there's so many people who just like want to apply, and like because of that, like a lot of people are dismissed who should not be dismissed. If that makes sense.
So COVID didn't help either. I
No.
wasn't able to see anyone for like a year plus, so there's a huge backlog there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're in a Baker Act is a great example. If you were Baker Acted 6 times in the last 12 months, probably can't work.
Yeah. It also, like, the way people do that though is like, it's like a means of survival almost. Like if you are homeless in downtown Jacksonville where I work, what are your options? Like you're going to go to a shelter. You have to line up at the beginning of the day. So what do you have to do? You have to hang out at a homeless shelter for like all the time, all day, every day. Or you can go do whatever you want. Go to the hospital, tell them you want to kill yourself, and then you get Baker Acted. And then a lot of those people are also on some kind of disability, and they end up getting like enrolled in long-term, or not long-term, but like day treatment, to where like they live in a group home. The group home drops them off at day treatment. They have like all their therapeutic stuff that goes on, and they go back to the group home. And so we have lots of people like that, and I feel like it is just kind of like a survival thing at this point, to where it's like people who are on disability, like they could, if they wanted to, make it work, but it's just like too many people are just kind of like, no, I can't do this. So
yeah.
Not to get overly conspiratorial, I think there's also a weird thing with the levels of certain things. So where they give someone enough money, but if they give them a little bit too much money, then they don't qualify anymore, and then it becomes really difficult for them to make choices that would better impact their longer-term situations.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That makes sense. Yeah. It's a tricky system.
Blows my mind that for all of the just time and effort that Laura puts in into all of these shenanigans, that she hasn't just done something more with her life. Like, she should be given so much. We're talking about people who have so little. It's just really too bad. Can't believe this person like exists in the world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like if we, like all of us, if we had that kind of money and time, like we probably wouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? So it's not going to make sense to us, but
quadrupling down. But Gingras was her down. Jingras was her downfall, I feel like, because these motions and filing fees and everything that she's doing, I don't know how they come back from that.
I saw someone's mention in the chat. My joke at being Laura Owens disabled was a comment in her blog post saying how she can't get out of bed and do all these things, but then somehow can still go to horse shows and do things. So it's trying to play up the victim card and say that she is so depressed about her situation that she is stuck, but then is externally living a very good and outward life. So I wasn't trying to say that she was depressed in any sense. It was more just commenting on the duality of what she's trying to claim.
It's an inconsistency,
Yeah.
Lauren, if any of your chat has any FOIA questions, I am like the FOIA master. So
you're the FOIA master. Okay.
I've got one for you while we're waiting on them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I put in a FOIA with the Arizona Maricopa County Police asking for a particular file that she submitted that was supposedly claiming proof of pregnancy, and I have not heard anything back after filing and paying my $5.
Okay. So I would follow up with them and say something to the effect of, I have not heard back from you. I have done X, Y, and Z. At this point in the next 10 days, if I don't hear back from you, I will consider this a constructive denial of my request. And because I believe that's improper, I will then sue you, and I am entitled to attorney's fees for that. And typically that'll get them to do something.
Justice for Brad's $5, says Bruce.
Justice for Brad's $5. Yes. Yeah.
Well, because they make you pay $5 to file a FOIA. Like, I mean,
we're gonna spend super chat money on FOIAs. Just keep sending
it's the thing is it's a zip file that was emailed. It's not like they have to go print documents and then send it to me. It's a zip file. So
we know there was a zip file.
Yeah.
My most infuriating FOIA experience in this case has been I wanted a copy of exactly the documents that Broward County sent to Megan. Because in those documents,
from Liz.
Yeah, in those documents is a screenshot of Laura's burner Reddit account.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna be the king of Reddit for a day. And so I literally said, give me what you gave Megan Fox on XYZ date. And it took them a month. And what they gave me was not at all. No, I'm sorry. No. The first time they closed it as a duplicate request.
Oh, jeez.
And I redid it, and then they sent me the wrong file.
Wow.
So it's
yeah.
it's whack-a-mole with the Freedom of Information Act, but Florida is very good. I would say it's very transparent anyway.
Even with court records and stuff, it's very easy to get them here, and like you don't have to pay or anything like that. In my county, at least, you just, or even in the surrounding counties, you just look it up. It's like right there.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that California had such strict laws around the releasability of court records. But typically, I don't even think it's a FOIA situation. It's a public document. So just go down to the court. I think that's the main problem is a lot of people don't have physical access to the court.
Right.
I
feel like every county at this point should have some kind of electronic record. But I guess that's asking for a lot considering the backlog of things they would have to put in. Well, then again, here we have like most of our stuff is available online. But if you go back to like before, I think it's like 2004 or something like that, you can't get it online. But still, I feel like having records from 2005 onward is very useful because when I had patients who would come through who had like a lot of legal problems, stuff like that, I'm trying to figure out like what's going on with this guy. He's very angry. He doesn't want to talk to me. He won't tell me about what's going on with him or what his stressors are. And so I will look for every bit of information I can get, especially if they won't tell me that I can talk to their family. Like if they won't consent, I'm not going to call their family member. So I will look up and find their record and be like, okay, something's going on here. I see this person just got a parole violation. So obviously there's a little bit of a tension going on there. So, but it's very easy to find that information. So I appreciate that. And it's like, sucks that that's just not a universal thing.
I don't think any of us would be here if it wasn't for FOIA at this point.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, I take that back. If Laura didn't go to the Sun and extort and threaten Clayton for the last year, we wouldn't be here.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's the funny thing about Jingras is that he completely negates the idea that she went to the Sun first in an attempt to destroy his life.
Mm-hmm.
And then gets mad at Clayton for wanting to claim defamation. Is like, well, this is a family court matter, not defamation. It's like, well, if your client wouldn't have opened it up, then it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Right.
What I wanted to say though is also Maricopa County is really no stranger to high profile public records issues and matters.
Right.
For whatever reason, Maricopa County gets some really crazy cases, like the election. There was an audit by a private company, and they mishandled like every Arizonan's ballot. Essentially, that ended up in FOIA litigation. So I think they have a decent court record system, but then again, I'm not doing nearly as much work as Megan and JFCX.
I had a friend several years back now, 6 years ago. She's now deceased, but she was in Maricopa County, and this was like I feel like it was not too long after like Jody Arias or around the same time or something, and she was making all these headlines, and like I obviously didn't talk to her much around this time, but she had met this guy, and she was like a very ill individual, and she had stopped taking her meds at that time. So she was not very functional, and she was like convinced that they were like destined to be together, that they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and that he was going to propose soon or something like that. And then and this is gonna. Has anyone seen Orange is the New Black?
I have not.
Okay. Anyone in the chat who has seen Orange is the New Black is gonna hear this story and be like, "Oh my god, that really happened!" And yes, it did. She broke into his house one day and got in his bathtub and had a butcher knife, I guess, somewhere, not on her person when they came in, but like somewhere nearby.
Doesn't
And
matter.
yeah, no, yeah, I know. And she was arrested, and she, I guess, it like made the news because she sent somewhere around like. At first, it was like tens of thousands of text messages to this guy after one date, but it was actually over 100,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And she, like, I didn't know this at all because when I met her, this was like shortly after she met this guy, and she was just talking to me like, it was like her normal boyfriend, you know what I mean? And like, I didn't know, you know? And then I saw that one day in like fucking BuzzFeed or something. I was like, holy shit. And she was in Maricopa County Jail, and she was doing a press conference. When they let her do a press conference, I guess they can't really stop her, you know what I mean? But like, she did this press conference, and you can find it online. It's actually kind of fascinating from a standpoint of just like understanding the mind when you're really sick and you're not medicated. It's very intense, and like you can tell that she really doesn't get it. Like, you can tell she just really doesn't understand like what she did wrong, or like why what she did was wrong. But anyway, she was held in Maricopa County for a while. She was court ordered to a long-term mental health facility. And then I was trying to find out, like around that time, I was like, what's going on with her? Like, and I had no way to contact her. Obviously, like her family's here in Florida, and they had no way to really get in touch unless she approved of it. And so I was like trying to look all this stuff up, and I was like, Jesus Christ, why is it so hard to get information here? And this is back in like 2018 or something, I think 2017. I was like, why is it so hard to get information here? Like at home, I only have to like press a button, and then I can get what I want, you know? So yeah, it took a while. I didn't even know what happened to her until she was back in Florida, I want to say a couple years later, and she was like on her court ordered therapy and medications and stuff like that, and she was doing really well, and she reached out and all that, and she was doing okay for a while. But anyways, that's just kind of like what I think of when I think of like the online records and stuff like that. I'm like, I could not for the life of me like figure out where she was, what was going on with her, and like nobody was gonna tell me, you know. So it was kind of crazy.
I'm really sorry you lost your friend. Lauren.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially because it became so high profile that I now like every now and then that will resurface, and like her picture will go around. You'll see it in the headlines and stuff like that. Like woman who sent like 100,000 text messages or something, and like she like eventually she did take her own life. So like it was very tragic because like yes, people will see her as a BuzzFeed headline, but like she was a person. Like she had a family. She was actually a really good person. She was just sick, like very sick. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to deflect, but it does just further highlight that like how preposterous Laura's position is, that that she was afraid of Clayton finding out anything about her medical history at all,
right.
because that stuff's on lock.
Right. Yeah. It's so hard to get any information, I feel like, over there. But
with the whole argument about Planned Parenthood in California and then LA, and trying to be anonymous so that Clayton couldn't talk to a doctor. Why would she care if Clayton would talk to a doctor related to her pregnancy? What is the thought process there? What's he going to do?
You know, there's a shred of empathy I have left for this woman, and I think that she's just a very scared individual.
Well, she's never been caught before, so yeah, I guess she would be scared.
Yeah. When is the other? Yeah, I guess if you live every single day with all that shit and baggage in the back of your head, of course you're scared. But that's me Bruce, just giving her the benefit of the doubt. But in reality, I think it's just part of a victim narrative. Another chip in the stack. Which I just feel so shitty saying that about a woman.
No, dude, that's the point. That's the point, though. She's attacking that part of you that feels so shitty, because she knows that she'll get her way if she says stuff like that gets to you that way. So.
The one thing we know is that she likes to layer different things, and she uses this layering concept to try and help bolster her case. So, like, I'm trying to do this right here. So these are some drink tokens I got from a beer fest here in Michigan.
Oh, nice.
But you can kind of see they all support each other, but they can't stand on the weight of themselves. And she uses documents and whatnot to be able to do that. So she goes to one particular doctor, and then she makes a claim. Then she takes that doctor's notes from provided information, and then takes it to another doctor, and then that doctor sees that doctor took notes and must made conclusions about those notes to then make supplemental findings about different things. And she then uses these ideas as, look at this evidence that I have, and it's not really substantive evidence if it's all self-provided, and I'll call it forum shopping, because that's kind of what it is, and just trying to get these different things. Like, so she claims epilepsy from Mike Maricini, but we have evidence to say that the epilepsy wasn't caused by Mike. But then she uses that to then claim being a DV survivor and an SA survivor. And then she takes that piece and goes to Barrow to be, I'm in this prestigious this group of people in this domestic violence training program. And then she uses that as clout to be able to project herself even further elsewhere. So it's all lies, but the problem is that she's found the ways of the system to be able to try and claim different things. And, she goes after Greg for something that she claims, even though it's not a fully adjudicated thing. She says, well, Greg said he hacked something. And it's like, well, okay. Was he tried for hacking? Do you have any proof of this particular event that he actually hacked your account? Yeah. Well, no, but he said that he did it at one time, so obviously that means that he did it now.
Yeah, it's a house of cards.
Yeah.
I just can't understand what she thought, like somebody listening to the trial would think about, well, I went to LA Planned Parenthood for anonymity reasons. Like, if you are pregnant with someone and you want to prove it, or I don't know. Well, with dating contract, why would you try to hide this doctor? And I understand why she's doing it from a House of Cards perspective, but I don't know what she thinks we're supposed to think about that. It makes no sense to me.
It was never supposed to get this far, Bruce. Ever.
I mean,
I think the weirdest thing about it is she believes that Planned Parenthood is like some kind of black curtain that you can just walk into, and then nobody sees what happens behind the curtain. No one is supposed to know what her name is. She's entitled to this like supreme anonymity that she doesn't have to give any information to. And that's how I believe that I don't believe she's ever been truly pregnant, at least conscientiously, because the way that she claims pregnancy. Some people have said that she's WebMD pregnant, because when she was giving all of the things on direct exam from Jingras of, well, how did you believe you were pregnant? It's like, oh, well, my breasts were tender and I had morning sickness and all this stuff. And it's like, well, okay, but
I get that after bad tacos.
But like in the order of protection hearing where she stood for 2 hours drinking Monster and not having to go pee. Like my wife, when she was pregnant with our son, she would have gone to the bathroom 3 or 4 different times during that hearing just because she's like, oh well, time to go again.
I'm guessing your wife didn't chug Monster either.
Yeah,
The monster.
Yeah.
it's how we believe that we know that she was never pregnant because someone who has gone through these legitimate growing pains of growing a person inside of you, you just come to learn these different things, and she knows nothing about it, but then tries to claim it.
Yeah.
Do we know where
anecdotes?
Do we know where the call with Laura's call from Brett from Ravgen is?
She posted it somewhere, right?
And
somebody must have saved
Wait,
it.
you want the audio file or?
She is farting through that entire thing.
What?
What?
And I haven't been allowed to say it on Reddit, and I have to leave, but it keeps getting deleted from Reddit, so I want to say that. Farting through the entire thing.
Somebody find me that recording, please.
You got the burritos.
I gotta go find this
No,
file
this
now.
is now I'm totally convinced this is bad tacos because I've had all of these problems.
Well, my conspiracy was like, it's
This is
the
breaking
bloat.
news.
It's
this
the
is
bloat. She apologizes to Brett.
She does?
I never actually listened to it, man. I never listened to it. I just read the transcript or like people like they like put it out or whatever.
This is breaking wind news.
My YouTube channel had it briefly, but then I got my wrist slapped on the Reddit, so I said no.
It's those burritos.
It's daily lunch burritos.
It's a
We'll find this
medium
file
to
in,
large amount
only
of
Greg knew she had burritos. Oh my god.
We'll find this file in Discord and
live stream help. Get on it.
Yeah.
That's insane. Oh yeah, they'll have it in a second. We'll pull it up as soon as they send it to us.
I'm quickly running through my head whether or not I've just defamed her. I mean, it's true. It did happen.
It's farting. Who cares?
But I don't.
It becomes a matter of, does it rise to the level of, because you don't have the intention of doing it, so I think you're good.
That's right. I have the intention of just sharing that, something I haven't been able to share, and I finally got it out, like she did on that call. It's the Ozempic, someone said.
Brad analyzing the defamation qualities of a fart phone call was not on my bingo card.
I'm changing the title of this video.
Well, the problem is because I've been following Nick's defamation case with Montegraph, and then so like I hear him talk about defamation and what are the elements of defamation. So you have to have knowledge of the falsity, which you believe. You have a sincere belief that she may have been passing massive amounts of flatulence during this call, and she hasn't told you otherwise that she wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
A burrito every day.
Don't forget, she's a public figure, so it's done with actual malice, and mine is just for levity.
It's part of your new stand-up routine.
Yes.
Oh my god. I can't believe that.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I feel as relieved as she did, I think.
That's amazing.
I'm doing an open mic tomorrow night.
Yes. Were you able to find it, Bruce? No worries if not.
No.
No, I'm not looking. I mean, I don't know. We'll find it.
Okay, we will find it.
We have some time.
Lauren,
I will get the troops on it.
If you can find that.
Don't worry, we'll do it another time.
I feel like it's the 10-minute mark. Anyways.
How long is the call? Jesus
Wait,
Christ.
Yeah.
How long is this phone call?
Yeah.
It's the one where she's like, Clayton, so he knows that the test is still ongoing. It's that one.
Stir Crizzy says, wait, someone is on it. Someone's about to pull it up for us.
I will pass on Fortnite for the passing of this gas.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I'm searching the Padlet and hoping it's there.
I'm doing my own weird search. I wonder if would I have access to videos I've deleted?
If all else fails, Dave Neal will have the full file, and I can get it from him if I have to.
Let's see. I'll search. Let me search here.
Because it was on YouTube, so maybe it's Snitchel Ninja.
Oh, Snitchel has everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Ninja might have it.
I'm just searching Brett on Reddit. So let's see.
Jesus.
I know Dave has played pieces of these calls in his videos, but I don't know if there's like a 10-minute thing, he won't have played the whole 10 minutes.
I'll just typically like I'll go for a walk and I'll put my head with my dog and I'll put my headphones on and it was just assaultive.
Yeah. Well, you can. Oh, geez. Yeah. With the studio headphones, we'll be able to.
Oh, God.
Serious business here.
Scottsdale call. Local media. Audio with cops.
Stencil doesn't have it. But I think she also got her page taken down.
Did they get the whole page taken down? I thought it was just a video.
Oh, I'm not up to date on exactly what happened, but I'm not sure if there's things that have been added.
Reddit has the edited version. You need the raw version.
I am asking somebody who's really fast. Hang on.
You better not be typing me.
No, not you. Someone else. Your first line of defense, but
I'm sure
else.
Dave has the full deal.
You know what? Even though it was taken down by the mods, it should still be in my comments.
Uh-huh.
I've just commented so freaking much. We will find it.
This is too
Everyone
strange
in the
even for me.
universe.
I don't know.
Everyone in the universe is looking for this farting video right now.
Wow.
Brett from Ravgen.
Did you find it?
It's not in my comments.
Damn.
I don't know. I think maybe I got embarrassed. But it's like it was when they first started cracking down on
Stencil Ninja still has YouTube, but maybe not on their Reddit account. Yeah, they were banned from Reddit. But
yeah,
not from YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Okay. You can't look up deleted videos on YouTube anyway. I'm sure Dave has it.
It may take some time for the investigators to mobilize.
I know.
I wish Friday night everybody's out partying. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Wish we could give us the same satisfaction that she seemed to have.
This is my party right here, guys. So.
Yeah, I was racing home. I was out to dinner with my family, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go be on YouTube now. But Ravgen in itself, like they're in Maryland, like they've never passed my smell test. I'm just out here slandering people. But like,
really,
I did a deep dive onto them, and they really just seem like a patent troll company.
Really?
Yeah, meaning I'm sure you guys are aware, so just explaining it for other people.
I am not aware. I'm just telling you right now.
So a patent troll is someone who comes up with who files patents, tons and tons of patents, but never really like actually makes anything from them, and then I'm probably getting this wrong because I'm not a patent attorney, but they basically wait for companies with deeper pockets to use something that's sort of like what they filed the patent on, and then they sue them for $1 bazillion. And Ravgen has done that in several cases. And then just if you like look at their website, like the last time it was copywritten was in like 2000. It's in like a weird industrial park. And it's just weird to have such a unique ability to test such a unique, I guess, for situation that it just never, I don't know, never passed my smell test. Plus, Brett is literally their voicemail. So
what?
Yeah. Brett does their answering service.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Clearly, I was not paying enough attention during the Brett era. Wait, Winks just sent us a link.
Oh
Hold on.
boy.
Click on it. What? Oops. That's not what I meant to do.
Yeah, I mean, being in an industrial park with just a couple employees, this is pretty typical of tech startups.
Think of a patent troll like, say you have this process of moving widgets from one conveyor belt to another, and then you say, I've got a patent that I can do this with a machine using a computer program, and then they file a patent of being able to use a computer and a machine to move widgets from one conveyor belt to another, and then they sue any other company that's doing that, just for the ability of being able to say that I've done it with a computer.
Look how short Dave's hair is there compared to now.
Short? That's almost long.
I mean, it's long, but his hair's way longer now. Yeah. It feels like it is to me, but it could just be the way it's sticking up.
He's styling it up versus out.
I don't know if this is the right one, but let's find out.
This was during the nice white brick era.
Neil, stand-up comic and host
LA.
patreon.com/ all the different options of what might go down
Update
next.
with the call with
and
the
then
lab
we can
today.
look back and have time.
Is this it, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, it's the full video, I believe.
Stamp
is what we
receipts
need
as to
for listing.
do maybe convict my sleep at all? No, I sleep.
Little.
Nope.
Sharing the story, which I feel like is harmful.
His Instagram story.
The father. And I'm walking into.
What really bothers me, and leave everybody.
This is what you have to do. You can't just run with an active sonogram.
Okay.
Like if
So I think
Yeah.
at me, I'm gonna play it in
a
its
4-minute clip.
entirety. I don't know if it's boring or interesting. I'm gonna take notes and then we'll discuss it. It's 4 minutes long. Grab some popcorn.
Hi, this is. I called about an hour ago for Brett.
poor Brett.
Yeah, let me put you on hold.
Okay, thank you.
Good audio she has.
Hello, this is Brett.
Hey, Brett. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, I'm calling because Clayton.
Yeah, I saw your emails.
Yeah. So
You
what can you guys possibly do to say that the results weren't back yet?
Yeah, like we told you, we're still testing. We don't put statements out, though, unfortunately. And that's just Ravgen policy. So we're not able to, put out a statement or comment on anything publicly about even past cases, present cases, especially cases that are still ongoing. To be honest with you, it sounds like it's a legal thing, to be honest with you, if he's,
Right.
stuff like that. But yeah, we wouldn't be able to comment. To us, we still have you scheduled. We're still running a test. It's very much not over yet.
There it is.
So, it's not complete, and there's no
Wait.
determination.
It keeps going. It keeps going.
Wait. Rewind. I gotta listen for it. I think I heard it though.
We wouldn't be able to comment. To us, we still have you scheduled. We're still running a test. It's very much not over yet. So it's not complete, and there's no determinations made from any of that yet.
Okay.
was
Is there anywhere
terrible.
online?
I'm sorry. That was terrible.
She apologizes eventually.
Is that like the stomach gurgling, or is that?
Yeah, that was deep and bellowish.
Yeah, it sounded a lot more like somebody's hungry, but I don't know, man. All right,
Oh my
let's,
gosh!
No, keep going.
All right.
Line that
And by the way, we're going to be listening to this man and wondering if
Shut
he's
up, Dave.
believable. Because
Oh.
would be that I could at least show that. Is it like in a patient portal or anything?
No, we don't have patient portal, unfortunately. And I mean, even like we don't have a result. We're still ongoing, but yeah, we don't have patient portals, unfortunately.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay. Well,
and also, folks have said this all along. Rather than go through all this hoopla, just show if I had a on screen, you can see
love you,
that
Dave.
heavy it's
Let
got.
me just
I'll
skip
just try to tell him.
Legally, yeah. Or,
Yeah.
attorney. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to advise. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely. If things like that are going on, definitely. Talking to your counsel, they probably give you the best advice you can have. But for us, we're ready. Once we receive that sample, we're going to process, and then as soon as we have anything, obviously we'll be giving you a call to let you know what we see.
Okay. Do you think he understood that the result wasn't back and I needed to take the test again?
So this is where, before we play his answer, she's trying to establish that he printed the evidence.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it's just the guy on the phone. It's just his opinion here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yep, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely. We're still testing. We have this.
Sorry.
So let's go back to what she said there, because he said definitely, but I don't think he understood her question.
Wait, did I miss something?
It was the sorry.
That was the sorry.
Okay, hang on.
It's not going to be evidence at all because it's just this the guy on the phone. It's just his opinion here.
So high.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yep, definitely.
Okay, so
We're still testing. We have this.
sorry.
So let's go back to what she said there, because he said definitely, but I don't think he understood her question.
We'll be giving you a call to let you know what we see.
Okay, do you think he understood that the result wasn't back and I needed to
Guys, I shouldn't be laughing. Like, my gas is horrible. I should not be laughing right now.
take the test again?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yep, definitely.
Okay.
So here we have the guy saying, "Oh, Clayton understood that this test wasn't over." Again, it calls into the question. I don't know why the fetal DNA.
And then you don't think.
From the date that you.
And what Jane Doe's claim is that Clayton should have known that the testing wasn't done.
I see.
We're still testing. We have this.
Sorry.
That you were scheduled. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did understand it wasn't like there was any misunderstanding. You don't think?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely getting sued.
Why post this? Like, she likes to edit things. Why do you edit your parts out? Like, I don't know.
Oh my god. We should cross-reference this with the date of the CT scan. Oh my god.
If we get this original file, I'm gonna look at that waveform and I'm gonna see all of it.
You're doing the Lord's work here.
This is actually so terrible. I can't help it though. I don't even know if I want to watch
Like
it.
a southern
I'll do
accent
it.
here, right? I wonder where she's actually from.
Okay. Because I didn't know if
Do we think Dave heard the farts and said
No.
nothing, or okay?
maybe calling him would help, but if you explained it the same way you did to me, then I don't think that it would be.
There's a date. This is the date, and we're tracking. We'll get it Thursday. Purify it. Run it Friday, and it should be coming. Same schedule should be coming out Monday afternoon or so. And then as soon as it does, we're gonna.
So today's Tuesday. She's taking the test Wednesday. Apparently, they're gonna
Did understand it wasn't the did understand.
should come back Monday. So this story's gonna be over soon, folks.
Gonna give you a call.
Okay, so he did understand it wasn't that the test results came back early, like he said, because I think he maybe. Well, you know what? I'm sure he understood and just did that to.
So
Yeah,
convincing.
I'm-
So
I'm sure he
convincing.
understood.
You just
Yeah, I
haven't
think-
said anything for the past
But
15
it sounds
seconds.
like just from your guys' standpoint, you've had it before where like the sample comes back like this, and that doesn't mean that the pregnancy is not there anymore. I mean,
No. Yeah, it's just we need another sample to finish up testing. So once we get that, we'll be giving you a call to let you know.
okay, so it just needs to be more concentrated, basically.
So it could have been that the first
Did you hear that,
test
though?
came back with no fetal DNA.
She said it doesn't mean that the pregnancy is not there anymore. That seems pretty Freudian.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But okay, now that I've reduced your stream to potty humor, I think
That's
I will.
that's what it was meant to be. It's fine.
You haven't seen us play Quiplash, have you?
Oh God.
No, but I would love to hear the Lauren catchphrase where the internet is my jacuzzi.
Oh yeah, for sure. I haven't
we-
used that in a while. I have to do some more pre-recorded videos. So
She started the stream raw. There wasn't even an intro or nothing.
no, I was just like fuck it.
I really appreciate all your like honest takes, and
Thank you.
enjoyed watching your channel for sure.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you come back again sometime.
Are you sure? But
Yes.
we'll be here. Yeah.
All right, that's enough farts for me.
Yes, Brad and Bruce, thank you guys so much for
No problem, Patrick.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'll catch y'all later. Then have a good weekend.
You
See
too.
you.
Bye. All right. I need to read. Hang on, a super chat.
You know you can unstar the ones that you've read and then it clears your queue.
Oh, you've told me that 40 times. I just forget every time. Lila Smith, thank you for the 5. Lauren, is pathological lying, narcissistic, or histrionic personality disorder, or something similar classified as mental illness? Technically, yes, it's technically a mental health problem, but it's not a debilitating, acute crisis. If you have a pathological lying problem, or if you have a personality disorder, it's a constant. It's something that you have to seek treatment for and be receptive to treatment for it to change. It's not like something crazy is happening to this person, something awful is happening, and they need immediate emergent treatment because they're in the state that they're always in and they have been functioning fine. So it just depends on who you're talking about, I guess. Like some people have personality disorders and they are co-occurring with other diagnoses, which are like way more emergent. But like in this case, if somebody were to have a personality disorder and we're doing stuff like this, technically, yes, it's a mental illness by the DSM kind of classification, but it's not a crisis, if that makes sense. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate that. Aw, everyone's loving Patrick. I hope he sees those comments. He has to come back. Yes, he does have to come back. We'll finish the farts next time. No, I don't ever want to hear that again. I had no idea. I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, I haven't heard it either.
That's really funny, though, that he just had that in his pocket all like, didn't tell anyone.
I got to get this out.
Well, in this video, Dave was wearing the old in-ear monitors, which aren't as high quality as his Sony headphones. If he had been wearing these type of headphones, he may have heard it. I don't know.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Oh my God, it is almost 1 a.m. here, so I'm gonna have to call it a night, guys.
Okay.
We were on a lot longer than I thought we would be. I want to do games tomorrow or the next night. I'm not sure yet, though. When are you guys free?
I got to do a dramatic reading of this 33-page monstrosity.
Right now or tomorrow?
At some point.
Okay, let me know so I can watch it.
You'll see.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll do games soon, and hopefully you guys can join. But I'll let you know as soon as I figure it out. I will not make it conflict with Brad's reading, so I can watch that.
Yeah, it depends. My wife's got a hair appointment tomorrow, so depending on what time she gets back, I might have her watch the little guy while I do a recording.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys on Discord and all that.
Yep. Bye.
Okay, let me end the stream real quick. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. All
Thanks, everyone.
400 of you. Thank you for staying. I can't believe people
Amazing.
listened to me talk for that long.